It was supposed to rain last night, so the tarp came out and the game was canceled. Didn't rain, but hey, sometimes Mother Nature does that to you. Well, the Orioles hope tonight, even though it's cloudy and not raining, we'll still get to play. Kevin Gausman is going to stay in the rotation in his normal spot. He has not given up a run in his last 10 innings. Ready for some baseball? We are. So are the Twins. So let's play. It's the Orioles on MASN in baseball tonight, we hope, as the fans come in here in downtown Minneapolis for what was supposed to be a 3-game series, hopefully will be a 2, starting with the ball game tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For the Orioles, one thing with the rain out last night happened. They do not have to adjust as far as the rotation is concerned. Kevin Gausman is going to start tonight. Tyler Wilson was supposed to start in the ball game last night, but Showalter wants to keep Gausman in the 5-day rotation, and so he'll make the start tonight. For the Orioles against the Twins, they opened up the season in Baltimore against them, and the Orioles put a number on them. They won all 3. Look at the differentiation. That batting average, 11-6 in runs. Home runs just 3.2, and the ERA, 4.01 for the Twins and 1.67 for the Orioles. Now, the same cannot be said of the last 5 games the Orioles have played here. They have lost all of them. You see the differentiation there is all about the Twins, who have outscored them 5.5 to 2.2 runs. The home runs 8.6, and the ERA for the Orioles in those last 5 played here very high. But Jim Palmer, those were games of another year and 2 very different teams.
Well, you're right. I mean, last year the Twins over the 7 games here and in Baltimore put about 6 runs a game. The Orioles in the low 2s. So how do you change that? That's why Gausman is pitching. You know, you want to keep him on his regular rotation. You know, the Twins are better here, 6-8, 2-14 on the road, but they don't really score a lot of runs. So, you know, Gausman did his throwing on Sunday, so he's on a scheduled start. I think the big question for the Twins, I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing Jose Berrios. He's their number 2 prospect, only Byron Buxton a little bit higher, but he's got really good stuff. So we'll see if the Orioles can solve that. You know, fastball, curveball, changeup guy, 21 years old, pretty soon to turn 22, but outstanding stuff. And the Orioles, we know, if you get the ball in the middle of the plate, even in a big ballpark, they can do a lot of damage.
And Kevin Gausman hopes somebody will score some runs, preferably the Orioles, because that hasn't happened a lot in the games that he has pitched since joining that rotation. How do pitchers hit? Well, this man is going to tell us all about it. The secrets of hitting from SAG. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Overcast skies and a cool night here in Minneapolis. So let's talk some hitting. His name is Zach Britton, one of the best closers in the game. The 28-year-old, of course, while he was coming up through high school in particular, both pitched and did a lot of hitting, and he likes to show it off. There's the average. He's got 5 for 8 in his major league career, and when he has a chance to talk about it, he always does. Take a look at the bat. This is how he swings it. He hasn't had a chance to do it in a while. Buck Showalter says he's not going to get a chance for another long while. Went with that one the other way, was picking up a double on that against the Nats, but the one he's most proud of, this is the long home run that he hit in 2011. He put it away, and anytime you ask him about it, he'll be glad to say, yes, I can do that. What's the secret? Well, just come out of high school.
I think someone told me one time that whoever was the closest removed from high school was always going to hit the best. I guess that made sense. So at the time when I put up those numbers 11, I think I was the closest guy to have graduated from high school. And I guess he was right. I'm trying to think of who told me that, but it was something I always liked to do. I was always a better hitter than I was a pitcher coming up through high school. And then when I got drafted by the Orioles, they moved me to pitching full time and kind of wanted to see where that went. So Joe Jordan kind of took the bat out of my hands, but it worked out. But it was something that I always wanted to do, and I was happy that I got a chance to do it.
Do you miss getting the plate appearances?
I think the older I've gotten now, you're more comfortable with pitching, but and I'm seeing some of the stuff some guys are running out there from starter standpoint, so I don't think it'd be as fun as I think it would be. Just like the position players, they want to pitch every now and then, but when someone's asking you to do it full time and you're held accountable for it, I don't think it's as fun as I think it would be.
Now, pitchers generally have occasions where you get together around the cage and you have a little competition.
Yeah.
How do you do?
I've done pretty well the last few years, and now when I get in there, Buck yells at me to get out of there. So I don't see any more at-bats in my future unless something goes really wrong and I'm hitting. But I'm holding out hope. I got a bat made every year. It's in my locker. I walk by Buck's office a little bit with batting gloves on during interleague play. Wave the bat around in the office, and he gets a kick out of it. But it's one of those looks when he stares at you like, that's real funny, but go ahead and put that bat down.
How about anybody else on the staff? Have you got a guy or two who can wield the bat pretty well in the Orioles staff?
Well, Giovanni, I told him I was going to have to maybe take some BP against him or something, maybe have a little game. But I think he hit a walk-off off of us when we were in Milwaukee, 2014. I remember we walked somebody, can't remember who it was, and then Giovanni pinched it and he hit a walk-off, hit a double, I think, off the wall. And I knew he could swing it pretty good. And funny, actually, me and Tillman and him were talking about offensive stats, just kind of bored in the clubhouse today. And we were talking about it, and we were looking up his numbers, and they're actually pretty impressive.
Talking about offensive stats.
Well, we were talking about a bunch of other stats, and offensive numbers came into it because we were looking at everything, the minors, trying to see how many at-bats we've had. And then Giovanni came up. He's had 400 and something at-bats, a bunch of homers, a bunch of doubles. So he's got a pretty good track record of swinging the bat, and he has a silver slugger. So he rubbed that in our face a little bit today.
Now, you guys, even though you're pitching, and obviously you don't want to give up long balls and hits and all that stuff, I get the impression that pitchers can't help but admire the Joneses, the Trumbos, the Giancarlo Stantons, the
right.
Chris Davises. Even though you don't want to give them up, but you can't help but admire what they do.
Yeah, it's when you give them up, it's not too fun. But you get some guys that you get back in the clubhouse maybe the next day, and they'll be like, "Hey, see how far that home run went that you gave up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I was out there on the mound." But it's a lot better when it's guys on your team you can watch, especially on the bullpen at home. We got a really good vantage point. We got a little game going on down there where Darren hogs all the home run balls. He doesn't let anybody else leave the bench. He hogs them all. But I'm going to try to steal one from him this year. But it's fun watching our lineup do it with Trumbo. He's probably the most impressive. CD's really impressive too. So to say that Trumbo is probably the most impressive guy in BP is saying a lot. The height and the distance together. He's just some pretty impressive ones this year. And then Manny too. Manny hits them out hard, and they go out fast, and that's something that him and Jonathan Scope do. When CD and Trumbo, Weedy, a lot of other guys get some, they're high. They're real high. It takes a little while for them to get out, but when Manny gets one, it gets out in a hurry.
It's so much fun talking to a pitcher about hitting.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. I had a blast.
Well, I'll tell you, mark the calendar because it's June 28th, first interleague game.
Yes.
Than any of the Oriole pitchers.
Yes.
And if we're Britton, of course, you're closer to hit. I don't know how that's going to happen.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It'll be Rickard, Machado, and Jones, Davis, Trumbo, and Wieters, Alvarez, Scope, and Flaherty since 2012. 167 days.
Yeah, most in the major leagues. So let's see how they do against Jose Barrios. So this will be his third major league start. And coming off a real good one down in Houston, which is not an easy place to pitch. Real good fastball. He can average 93 to 95, somewhere in there. High ERA, pitched, gave those runs up early in his first start. Real good curveball. I mean, I'll tell you, a power hook. And again, the scouting report, I didn't really see that many of them. You can see lefties hitting him a lot better than righties. Righties are only 1 for 13. He's got a real good changeup.
21-year-old delivers, and we're actually playing baseball. And the pitch will be taken as Rickard will lead it off. He comes in with a 3-game hit streak. He opened up in that series in Baltimore with a 5 for 11, a home run and 2 RBIs against the Twins. That, of course, was the opening series. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 57 degrees the temperature. Wind is blowing. It's cool and going to be cold before the night is done. Wind here blowing out a bit to right field to start the game. Delivery is put up in the air. Left field not deep. There's Sia coming on, and he will put it away. Rickard is retired.
Yeah, Nunez goes, well, probably should have gone out there and saved you about a 200-foot run. Arcia, Santana, Sano, Palouf, Nunez, Dozier, and then Maurer. He's leading off. Hadn't done that since he pinch hit, and then Suzuki behind the plate.
And here is Manny Machado.
I get the idea. Maybe the wind's blowing kind of in and across.
Yeah. Flags will indicate out to right, but again, the flag's on the top of the left field stands the other way. It stung that one. That's what Britton was talking about. The balls that are hit by Manny Machado come off the bat so hard. 4-game hit streak for Manny. Picks up another base hit.
I mean, just a P. I mean, this one is in the middle of the plate. The first 3 fastballs to Joey Rickard right on the corner, and then he got him out with a curveball. You just, well, you can. I mean, we see it all the time. They get balls in the middle of the plate, breaking balls or fastballs. It is going to be hit hard somewhere.
So the day off didn't bother Manny. Sees the pitch and does what he's been doing all first start of this season. Here is Adam Jones. Adam had a 2 for 10 with a couple of RBIs against the Twins in the opening series. Buck Showalter talking about Adam today, saying, you know, he's 100%. Yeah, he had some problems and the muscles around the rib cage, a little bit on the shoulder, but the skipper said right now he's better. He's ready to go with no holes barred and feels good. Adam will hope, and the Orioles will hope, that lasts for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, sometimes you get in spirals that aren't, of course, I always look at a spiral going downward. I suppose could get an upward spiral.
Absolutely.
He needs one of those.
Yeah, he's had a tough start to the month for Adam, and part of that, I think, is because he was not feeling well for a couple of weeks or more. He's only had 4 hits and 28 at bats in the month of May. Machado over at first base, held by Mauer. Not running. Jones will go the other way. Right at him. Sano's got it. Jones retired. Manny back to the battle.
Yeah, Sano, you know, last year we saw him come up and play third, so he started. Then Palouf got hurt. And then he was at third, played pretty well, back and right. And they want his bat in the lineup.
Minnesota's lost 9 of their last 10, and they have lost 5 in a row. They are 8-23 and 14 games out of first place. The Orioles come in 18-12, tied for first with the Red Sox. Orioles have won 2 in a row. Chris Davis with a runner on will take the pitch down low for a ball. Chris too had a home run in that opening series at Camden Yards against the Twins, 2 for 11. The 1 home run and the RBI. Fly ball pitcher, not significantly so. Going for the outside corner, won't get any help on that one. It's only his 3rd major league start. He has thrown 20 pitches per innings pitched. So that's up there about 4 more, 5 more than you'd
Yeah.
like to have, but he's 21.
Yeah, and again, kind of rushed to the major leagues. I mean,
That will catch the corner.
I mean, he's got good movement, and he's got good velocity. An easy 93 or 4. Alex Meyer, they kind of moved him out of the bullpen. And all the other starters, it goes down, and so do the numbers.
Barrios
Out of Puerto Rico. Now, somebody told me today, and I assume it's true, that he is the only starting pitcher in Major League Baseball from Puerto Rico at the moment. Now, there's certainly been other really good ones. I mean, in fact, when I played winter ball there, Juan Bizarro was a really good left-hander.
Kind of surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
And he came back inside on that one. Little foul tip to a piece of Suzuki. He doesn't need any of that.
Yeah,
2-2. Suzuki's battling with a whiplash in the neck. They worried about a concussion 2 days ago. He had to come out of the ball game, but says he's all right. They ran the tests. They showed no concussion problem, so he's back there. But it's not something they want to fool around with. Manny Machado off first. Davis. Well, there's an unusual move.
Well, he stepped off first, so he can pretty much do what he wants to do. Manny, he can run, not this year. He's attempted 2, been thrown out, and they were both with Chris Davis at the plate. I laughed because he just don't really do this. He was on second base, got thrown out at third. Ill-advised.
Not a good idea.
No.
You could even ask Chris about that. And the 2-2 delivery to him will be taken down low.
And they were both with 2 outs.
Yep.
Makes it even worse.
So Chris works it full.
Yeah, Barrios, we'll see if he's able to go to where he went on the 1-strike pitch, which is up and in. I mean, that's where you would like to be able to pitch to Chris Davis. You want to be able to stay out of the zone.
Chris is tied for 7th in the league in walks. He is 5th in strikeouts, and that's going to be on the K side. Could not hold up in a pretty good pitch that came down and in. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Kevin Gausman to the mound. On hand here in Minneapolis for this one. Take a look at the lineup for Paul Molitor's Twins. Mauer, Nunez, and Dozier, Plouffe, Sano, and Park, Garcia, Suzuki, and Santana. Mauer, enormous numbers against the Orioles.
Yeah, it really is. And take a look at Kevin Gausman. A lot of fastballs. Why not? 93 to about 97. Hit 100 down in Tampa. Not too many breaking balls. Changeup was the pitch, the secondary pitch of DeJour against the Yankees when he went 8 innings in his last start. Didn't give up any runs against Tanaka. Look at those numbers. Hardly any walks, only 10 hits. Lefties 118. Seems like that split finger change even more effective. A little bit more in the air. And then of course right-handers. The only home run he's given up is against right-handers, and that was the Brett Lawrie home run on a changeup. So why not lead Mauer off? with those numbers that we just saw.
His on base percentage is on top for the Twins, so Paul Molitor said we're going to give it a whirl. He has never hit leadoff in a ball game to start a game before, so this is something new for Mauer, the veteran. The only time he hit first in the batting order was in 2008 when he came off the bench as a pinch hitter. It was in the 9th inning. He had 2 plate appearances in the leadoff spot. He had a sac fly that tied the ball game up and then drew an intentional walk. So you see, it doesn't matter where you hit. The big hitters are going to get an intentional walk once in a while. So Mauer in the leadoff spot, Nunez, and then Dozier. Mauer 5 for 8 off Kevin Gausman. Kevin's delivery to him, and that will be there for a strike. 2-1 on Mauer, the hometown hero, homegrown, and the Twin forever. Not a lot of players like that around, of course, anymore. You can say that. We'll be able to say it. Look for the outside corner. Won't get the call.
Yeah, you're not getting the edges. I know it's early, but Berrios didn't seem to get the ones that, and they looked like they were balls. A lot of umpires will give you that pitch. So it's a good hitting count early on.
3-1 delivery to him in a big cut. We'll see how Mike Estabrook does. The home plate umpire generally has been considerably favorable towards pitchers. We'll see if that holds up tonight. Tom Woodring, Greg Gibson, Ed Hickox, the umpiring crew with gloves and sweaters. That one will go the other way, and that will be a foul ball. Hitting first, Buck Showalter says, what difference?
It doesn't surprise me. It's kind of like Manny, you know. Sometimes you take your best guy and you see how many at-bats you can get for him. I think batting order is way overrated. I mean, you're only short of it. The whole protection thing and all that other stuff. It's just something for a lot of people to talk about.
Ground ball will go to Jonathan Schoop, and Mauer's out of there in his first start AB in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, go ask Dusty Baker about protecting Bryce Harper, who walked 6 times on Sunday.
Get up to hit him 10.
Yeah. Well, you might as well. You might as well lead him off or put him in front of Daniel Murphy, who's leading the National League in hitting. But then again, if you have 2 left-handers and then you set up the bullpens and whatever, except that Murphy's hitting better against lefties than righties. But that again, that's only for what, 6 weeks. So
that pitch will be taken down low. Nunez, hot bat. Nunez has an 8-game hit streak coming into this one for a Twins ball club that's really struggling to score runs. Just have not been there for them. He'll take that one. That's down low.
Yeah, they're at what, 3.64 runs at home, and the only reason they're 6 and 8 is the pitching, 3.71. So that's maybe a little bit higher than the runs they score, but on the road that ERA jumps all the way almost 2 runs higher.
Very tough start. 2-0 delivery on the way, taken for a strike. I was talking with the Molitor before the game today, and Molly says nobody saw this coming, and I said, you're absolutely right. I said nobody in Minnesota or outside of Minnesota thought that the Twins would ever have that 0-7 start. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Went with it. Nunez, a 9-game hit streak now and a 1-out single.
Take a look at the Oriole defense here in Minnesota. Rickard Jones, Trumbo, that's the outfield. Flaherty, Machado, Schoop, and Davis, and then Matt Wieters back behind the plate. So what, that 409 batting average for Nunez just went up a couple of ticks.
Seeing the ball well, you can tell by the swings he's taken. He's 11 for his last 32 now.
Well, the one thing that I'd learned when you throw a guy, fastball outside third of the plate, Gary, you learn right away why he's hitting 409 against righties. So that's kind of an information pitch.
Here is Dozier. Dozier in that opening series against the Orioles had an 0 for 11. And he's had some pretty good numbers against the O's. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Dozier, 248 career hitter now against the Orioles with 3 home runs. Dozier's had only 1 hit in 9 at bats against the Orioles starter Kevin Gausman.
Inside middle home run hitter, pull hitter. And
Throw over to get him back.
And they play him actually pretty straight away.
Outfield straight up.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't. I mean, this is the old-time, back-in-the-day type of defense. A lot of times you may shift the infield.
Nunez, 5 stolen bases. He is the threat to go, 5 out of 7. Gausman's delivery, and that's going to be a base hit into left center field. Dozier the base hit. Nunez will head to third. Throw comes in the second. So the Twins cover the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, of all the pitches that gives Kevin Gausman trouble, it's his kind of swervy breaking ball. Castro against the Yankees led off an inning with a double, similar pitch, and because Nunez can run you, they get a first to third. Joey Rickard picked it up and thought, well, maybe I'll go to third, but the last thing you want to do is get the double play out of order here. So it's just a hanging breaking ball. Dozier, one of the better high ball hitters. A little bit of problem with his right hamstring, but obviously didn't bother him.
So Plouffe will get the RBI chance. Plouffe is 3 for 9 in these situations so far this year. Team has not had a lot of scoring chances. They haven't had a lot on base. First and third. Double play depth in the infield, 1 away. And he'll take the pitch inside for a ball.
Yeah, so already Kevin Gausman, who does, you mentioned, doesn't get a whole lot of run support, 2.37 this year. Is thinking strikeout, double play ball. And against the Yankees, and we've seen a little bit tonight, the velocity seems to go up as he gets into the middle inning, but he would like to make a pretty good pitch here to get out of harm's way.
And that'll be outside. Wieters checking. See who that runner is at third base. So Plouffe gets ahead on the count, 2-0. Nunez jumping around down there at third base, just trying to get the best secondary lead he can. And of course, with Kevin Gausman looking over there, if he can disturb him at all, he will. 2-0, 1 down. Outfield pretty much straight away. Plouffe 2 for 7 off Gausman. And he puts it in the air to center field. Jones going back. Adam got it lined up. Runner will tag at third. Nunez will score. Plouffe gets the RBI. And it's a 1-0 Twins lead.
Well, he's been around, and he is an RBI guy. Can hit some home runs, can hit some doubles. He said we need, after that 3-game series in Baltimore, to put a whooping on these guys. Well, that'll whoop up a run right there, and that's what you try to do. I mean, if you can't get a base hit, get a ball you can hit the center field, one of the outfielders, and they do, and they get themselves a run.
So that will break the streak that Kevin Gausman had coming into the ball game of scoreless innings. He had been up there among the leaders in that regard at 10. Runner on at first base now. There are 2 down. Miguel Sano, that pitch in the dirt. Good stop made by Wieters. Hold that runner at first base.
Yeah, a lot of times Matt will backhand balls, but this one's right at him. And able to get the glove down and keep it from either going to the side or by him.
Sano's a .333 hitter in his young career against the Orioles. 3 home runs. 1-0 delivery to him, and that's going to be taken down low. That's the 3rd run scored. Kevin Gausman, rather, is not used to giving up runs in the first inning. Generally works his way through the first, and he has kept the number of hits per 9 innings pitched way down. Cut it in half from last year. 4.74 per 9 innings. Check swing, and yes.
There's the split-fingered fastball. That was his, as I mentioned earlier, his best secondary pitch in his last start. 8 shutout innings against the Yankees. And Sano well out in front. Fastball count. Pulled the string with a changeup.
Infield shift on for the right-handed power hitter. 2 for 10 in the opening series against the Orioles. And that's going to be in the inside corner for a strike. Now the Orioles will move Jonathan Schoop back over to the other side of second base. The scouting report saying Sano gets behind in the count. He's willing to take the ball the other way.
Yeah, we saw him last year get some base hits the other way.
Runner off first, 2-2. jump throw over. That'll keep him closer.
Again, Dozier with the hamstring problem, and Paul Molitor, his skipper, said play under control. Put a governor on it if you can. Be prudent.
Be prudent.
Then he laughed and said, and of course Dozier's standing right next to him. He said, we'll see how it goes.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside. So Gausman, who has surrendered his first inning run of the year, trying to get out of the inning here, takes the count deep again. 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, 41 strikeouts for Sano and 107 at bats, but when you go 3-2, a little bit harder to throw your pitch. You still have to throw it over.
Dozier will be running. Gausman's delivery, and a check swing gets away. Sano, a little slow getting down there, is out. So the strikeout and the assist from Matt Wieters will end the inning. A run in on a couple of hits, no errors, and one left on base. Sano taking a look. Throw by Matt to get the out. Twins up 1-0. Of the game, Pashudev Parajuli from Nottingham. 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit. Play home run Richard scratch-offs went up to 50,000. Enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. So the Orioles find themselves down early. Postponement yesterday, 4th game of the season postponed. The Orioles have had more games postponed now than any other major league team at 4, and hoping to get obviously this one in tonight. Should be okay this evening. However, tomorrow more rain is expected starting somewhere around game time. We'll see. All right, Trumbo will foul that one back. Trumbo, big bat, lots of power.
Yeah, lots of RBIs, a lot of run production.
There you see the games he's reached on.
Yeah, some way. Walker hit.
They're deep inside the numbers. Look, and that'll be inside.
Okay, one thing about the Twins, when they develop young talents, and Jose Barrios was their first round draft choice, 32nd pick of 2012. He did get his innings. I mean, he pitched almost 160 innings at the minor leagues last year, which is what you like to see as he worked his way up the ladder.
36 and 20 in the minor leagues. The 440 total innings worked, 464 strikeouts. So he had more than a strikeout per innings pitched, and only 120 walks, so almost a 5-to-1 ratio.
Well, they pride themselves into that, and obviously Neil Allen here took Rick Anderson, longtime pitching coach, for Ron Gardenhire, and there's a home run swing. Got away with that one, but good stuff can do that. 93 in the middle of the plate. But they always say, hey, your last 10 fastballs, throw them knee high for the middle of the plate. You find out they don't go there. And what they pride themselves on is command of the strike zone. What they don't have is a lot of guys with this kind of stuff, and more control guys than power pitchers.
Trumbo with the 2-ball 2-strike count. Pitch to him will come inside. So Berrios will take the count to the full on the leadoff batter here. Wieters and then Alvarez due up. He retired 55% of leadoff batters in the first 2 starts that he had. 3-2 delivery. Trumbo, a towering fly ball to center. Danny Santana, for the fun of it, does a 360 and then comes back and makes the catch. The Orioles-Rays game that was rained out April 9 has been rescheduled. It's game 1 of a separate admission day-night doubleheader. It'll be Saturday, June 25 at 1:05. All tickets that are marked April 9 will be honored for the 1:05 game. That day's originally scheduled 4:05 game is now the night game at 7. For complete ticketing information, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. That's June 25 doubleheader against the Rays. Pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Matt Wieters. Buck Showalter could not have been more complimentary towards the Minnesota Twins organization and Terry Ryan, their GM, in particular. Another one put up in the air towards center. Santana this time a more direct route. He said of the rainout, Buck said, Terry called me throughout the afternoon advising me of what the weather was going to be, how they're going to try and get it in, and then right before they canceled, he said Paul Molitor and Terry Ryan got in touch with him and said, look, weather forecast is for rain tonight. We don't think we can get this in, so let's not get it started and then have the downpour. And then Terry called today and apologized to Buck. He said, we were wrong. We listened to the weatherman, and on this occasion it wasn't right, and I'm sorry for that. We could have played last night, and I take the heat on it. And Buck said, no. He said, there's no heat. You did the best you could with it. And he said, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you stayed in touch with me throughout the day and again today. So that was real nice. 2 down, nobody on. Alvarez up, and he will take it down low for a ball.
And the other side of the story, I guess, is, or along with that, is when do you want to play the makeup game? He talked to Paul Molitor. He said, hey, we don't want to do it because we're going to fly in the night before. We want to do an early game. We don't want to play at 4 because Molitor said pitchers will love it, but the hitters can't see. So I think they, 6:10?
Yeah, that was the last I heard, be a 6:10 game. Yeah. And that was done by agreement. In fact, Terry Ryan called him. He called Buck, said, tell me what you want. Pitch is taken for a strike at the knees. DHing. Alvarez started with an 0 for 8 in that series in Baltimore. 3-ball, 1-strike count, 2 down. Twins on top. And that one to the hole. That's against the shift. Tough play. Nope. Nunez. That was right where they weren't. Base hit.
I mean, really good 3-2 pitch by Berrios, and Pedro swinging the bat well. You can still hear the crack. And then again, Nunez tries to get over the ball, tailing away from him. Pedro hit it exactly where it was pitched. Pretty good hitting.
Good backup and no chance. So the Orioles get their second base hit. Alvarez is on, and that will bring up Jonathan Schoop. Jonathan continuing in his hit streak. Red hot hitter. He, like Manny, hitting the ball hard. Fastball, that's at 92. Is going to miss away. Look over to first base. No lead over there for Alvarez. Down to third base and foul. Hit streak. Shots like this.
Yeah, well, that's the home run. I mean, a screamer into the seats. One of the 6 they hit on Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day. But we also saw, a really good breaking ball the night before, down and away, took it to right field. Also a line drive to right field on Sunday. So more of using the whole field.
Jammed him. Good pitch. Somehow got a piece of it, but not going to take that pitch very far.
That's what you were talking about. Jackie Bradley Jr. red hot. And then, of course, Garcia, one of the reasons the White Sox are playing as well.
White Sox are really doing a number this season. They have already jumped to a 6-game lead over Cleveland in the division. Runner off first base, off the end of the bat, popped up towards right field. Dozier going out. Sano coming on, and he will make the catch. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Twins on top early in this one, 1-0. In this one, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time. Later in our ball game tonight, it's brought to you by Miller Lite. Park will lead it off against Gausman. Garcia and then Suzuki will be due up 6, 7, 8 in the order. For the Minnesota Twins, you compare the run differential, which tells you a lot about their season. They're a minus in that department. The Orioles are a plus 20 for the Orioles, and the Minnesota Twins coming into the ball game, if you count the run they picked up tonight, they've been outscored 160 to 107. Down low for a ball.
Well, big time power. They got him out of South Korea. Of course, Orioles have Kim. He hit 28. This guy hit what, 53, 54?
He was the MVP of the Korean League last year. Led him in home runs with 53 and 146 RBIs. 5th season playing over there. He came to Major League Baseball with a career .281 batting average. Last year by far the biggest number. Swing and a miss by Park. He's their DH. A fellow South Korean, depending on who's up, getting to watch another here at the major league level. Gausman's delivery to him will be outside. 96 on that one.
Yeah, just a little. You can just see the rhythm. I mean, I always kind of look. Do your hands break over your knees? Do you kind of get set right there? He was down the pitching rubber before he got in that position. Very hard to throw a quality strike, and pulled it right off the plate.
3-2 delivery on the way, and Park on a pitch inside will be out of there in a strikeout. Second for Gausman.
Yeah, that's the way he got out of the first inning with a great split-fingered fastball. Don't want to keep going 3-2, but if you're going to throw this pitch, I mean, the ball just, the bottom drops out. And he swings right over it.
For Kevin Gausman, 0-2 mark against the Twins with a 6.50 ERA. This is the 4th start he's had against them. Pitched here at Target Field last July and gave up 8 runs, 7 earned on 7 hits in just 3 2/3 innings.
Yeah, the one in Camden Yards is actually, he really pitched well. Again, didn't get any runs to work with.
Which has been his story, isn't it? Garcia playing in left field. 0 for 3 off Gausman. Will take the pitch on the inside corner. Coming into the ball game, the left-handers with that 118 batting average. Right-handers 188. Great number. In fact, all the numbers for Kevin except the win-losses are outstanding. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game.
Well, that was like wiffle ball. Try to hit that 96 with great life. Paul Molitor was saying, of course, Paul's in the Hall of Fame and he's managing. He said he can ride it up in the zone, and then his ball has great life down in the zone. I said, well, that's what you want from your #1 draft choices. Number 4 pick out of Louisiana State University.
Twins put the shift on in the infield. The Orioles do, rather. Suzuki stands in, and a strike taken. Kurt had an 0 for 6 in the opener. Veteran catcher Suzuki, the 40th Hawaiian-born native to play in the major league. It's tough to get him to play in the major leagues because if you're born in Hawaii, why would you want to leave? Better to surf on the North Shore. More dangerous, but
oh, is it ever?
1 ball, 1 strikeout with 2 down, and he takes it away. Here's the injury he had that last game.
Yeah, direct hit. He said normally the mask comes off, but that one it just kind of joggled around, and it's a new word I just came up with. Joggled around.
Joggle's good.
Either way, that's where he got the whiplash.
Took him out, had him tested, no concussion. That one in the air to left center field. Adam Jones on his horse. Don't know his horse's name, but it gets him there in a hurry, and he records it. 1-2-3 inning for Gausman. Twins up. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Our Major League Notebook on our East Winds page. The Yankees won 4 of the last 6. They've limited opponents to 13. That's 2.2 runs a game. They are trailing KC 6-5 tonight. Red Sox have won 13 of their last 19. Look at the numbers they are putting up. They've got an 11-0 lead in their ball game tonight. And the Rays have won 4 of their last 5. Their rotation 2-0 with a 2.2 in that span. They are playing at Seattle.
I get an idea of the kind of the quality of the teams that you were playing in the American League East.
Yeah,
all the O's.
They're back. That ball put in the air to center field, turning on it. Santana, can he get there? Reaching, and it's off the wall. Going into second base is Flaherty's got a double. 400-foot 2-bagger. The straightaway center field.
Yeah, getting ready for Houston. That's where you got the triples. So take a look right here. So the Orioles, had a pretty good pitch outside third, and then the ball gets over his head. Looked like he may run it down. He's not really running hard. Otherwise, that's probably a triple. Now, I'm not saying you're going to try to go to 3, but if you don't come out of the box real hard, because the last thing you want to do is get thrown out at third base with nobody out, or 2 outs. But again, I just think he thought maybe it would be caught.
I agree. I think he did. Nevertheless, the pitch is taken for a strike. Rickard, leadoff batter, flied out to left field, his first time up. The Orioles with a bunt here. Plouffe is in at third base. Bobby Dickerson with the signs.
Well, that's what I think they're encouraging Joey Rickard to do. You know, Plouffe's already in. He's about 2 steps in front of the bag at third. Just gives you a better chance to hit it by him.
There's the bunt to first base. It's a beauty. Push bunt. Got to hurry it. Sacrifice works and almost got a base hit out of it. Nice job by Rickard.
And Barrios gets over there very nicely. Again, he's only going to turn 22 and shortly. Again, a little breaking ball. Look at him follow it. I mean, a good pitch to bunt. And then Barrios just calls him off, and I mean, nobody else is going to make the play, but nice little avenue.
So the Orioles get the bat they want at the plate in these situations. Manny Machado, a base hit his first time up. Manny is .360 with runners in scoring position, even a little higher than that .355 overall average. Chance to tie the game up. Inside corner for a strike. Manny had a day to remember. Another one on Sunday.
Yeah, grand slam, 2-run home run to right center. Second grand slam of the season. One of the 6 home runs the Orioles hit.
And the fastball will be taken in. 93-mile-an-hour delivery. With runners in scoring position against Barrios in the first 2 games, opponents were 2 for 11. This is the first chance the Orioles have. Infield drawn in. He's trying to stay inside, not allow Manny to get that bat extended.
Well, he almost killed him last time. He got it out over the plate, and he had a nice crisp liner right back up the middle.
Machado, 2-ball 1-strike delivery to him, and that's going to be taken down low. How much does Manny like playing at home? Take a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
Yeah, you know, last year the Orioles were 34 and 50 on the road. I mean, even though those numbers are obviously down because they're so amazing at home, the Orioles are almost scoring the same amount of runs on the road. It's just that the ERA has to come down for them to start winning.
And Manny with a big cut, trying to drive it through that drawn-in infield, 3-2.
Well, how many 22-year-old kids can throw that kind of quality changeup in a 3-1 count? And if you throw a 3-1, Manny has no idea of what's coming right here.
Well, let's see what Barrios does with it. The infield stays in. Ryan Flaherty, the base runner, at third. Barrios delivers. Put that one up a little bit at 83.
Yeah, and Manny thought he just won the lottery. Thought he got a hanging breaking ball, but it stayed out of the zone.
For Manny, the last 10 games, he's hitting .400. He's gone 17 for 41. 10 extra base hits. 3-2 delivery, and Manny will take it, and he is on.
Well, that solves the problem of having your infield in. They'll now go back into double play.
Second walk surrendered. Barrios now will have to work to Adam Jones. This has been a problem for Adam this season. He has hit into a lot of ground ball double plays. He's up there among the leaders in the American League, and a leaderboard you'd rather not be on.
Well, that's when you have to use the whole field. And, you know, we've seen Jose Abreu came into with the White Sox, came in hitting 190, got 6 or 7 hits. Where did he get him? To right field. So sometimes, you know, obviously you'd like to hit a 3-run run here because you're down by a run, but nice little chopper into right field or stay out of the double play gets the game tied.
Flied out to right field his first time up. Barrios delivers. That'll be popped up into the seats. Hitting into double play, Janel Escobar, Dustin Pedroia, and Adam Jones all have 8 ground ball double plays coming into the ball game, tied for the most in the American League. 0-1 count, 1 down. Flaherty started it out with a double. He's over third. Manny Machado, the lead at first base, and a pretty good lead. Rios delivers, came inside. He's got a nasty pitch to right-handers that we've already seen him locate a few times. It's right in on the fists.
Yeah, but this is a ball. I mean, it's a little bit low, it's a little bit inside, and you know Jonesy wants to get the job done, but by swinging at that pitch you get to 0-2. Now Barrios doesn't really have to throw him a strike.
Orioles have had the big number. 2-strike hits. Not this time. He went away and got him.
And once again, Gary, a fabulous pitch for I don't care if you're 32, 22, or soon to be 22. It's you get him to swing at the 0-1 pitch, and then you come back with this breaking ball. It's a good one, way out in front, and now it's up to Chris Davis to pick up Adam Jones.
So Berrios gets the strikeout. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks so far in the game. Trying to get out of this inning. Jones obviously upset at not getting the job done. Strikeout victim Chris Davis, throw over, just trying to catch Manny flat-footed. He's back into the bag. Orioles still the best in the league at 288 with runners in scoring position. Davis with the infield shift on, goes after it. Home plate umpire Mike Estabrook makes that call himself for a strike. Chris, over the, if you count the at bat he's had in this game over the last 7, he's had only 1 hit in his last 22 at bats and 11 strikeouts. Again, trying to catch Manny.
Yeah, Manny did steal 20 bases. He just hadn't been running a lot, and I think a lot of that has to do, certainly healthy, with the guys hitting behind him.
Not sure what this is. Berrios looked over into the dugout. Plouffe, the third baseman, told him to step off the mound and look into the dugout. I think they're looking at this play on the call at first base.
A quick throw, and as we said, Manny hasn't attempted a steal of second yet.
No challenge. Runners off first and third, 2 down. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. They do throw through. They got him trapped. Runner at third's coming home. Tag is put on before he gets to the plate. No run. So the Orioles trying to sneak a run in right there. Can't do it. As Suzuki threw and Nunez ran down Machado. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by the Bob Bell Automotive Group, driven to be the best. It's not sushi grade, so you want to wait till it's done and then enjoy. Well, again, Chris Davis is left standing at the altar. Manny Machado trying to steal a run.
Yeah, it didn't appear to be a straight steal. It didn't get a great jump, and of course, if Flaherty scores before they tag him, you know, this is the old Earl Weaver play. He used to do it. Runners at first and third. Guy would take his lead. He would pretend to fall. If the left-handed pitcher would throw over there, you'd steal a run. You know, the veterans, you know, the Ron Peronowskis of the world, was just putting up with that nonsense. But you're right about the fact that you have your number 4 hitter, and all of a sudden you're out of the inning.
Yeah. So Orioles unable to take advantage of the leadoff double by Flaherty. Kevin Gausman's got to be sitting over there watching that and going, I've seen this before. Runs don't come when I'm on the mound. Well, and the pitch is taken by Santana.
Yeah, that's the bad news. The good news, he's quite capable of keeping the Orioles in the game.
Oh yeah.
You can't say that for, your normal. I mean, he's just been on that good. And
Santana will foul that one back.
When you get in the field, he's going to have to do that again. I always felt that it actually makes you a better pitcher, but I'm not sure you're going to win a lot of games nowadays. And because what happens is, if you get your normal 100, 105 pitches, if they don't score runs, you're out of there and don't have a chance to win in the.
Santana goes down swinging. The switch hitter becomes strikeout victim number 4. And he ended the first inning. Gausman did with a strikeout, got 2 in the second, and now 1 here in the third.
Yeah, I mean, he just blows it 96 right by him. He didn't have that kind of fastball coming into this game. Now all of a sudden, I mean, this is what he did against the Yankees. As he got into the middle innings, the velocity got better and the command right with it.
So that will bring Mauer to the plate. Dave Wallace, the Oriole pitching coach, staying warm and watching his starter. That ball is an off-speed delivery that will miss. Career home batting average against the Orioles for Mauer is .393 here and at the Metrodome, playing against the Orioles. Fastball at the knee is for a strike. The only opponent against anybody else who had a higher batting average was the great Rod Carew, who hit .427 against the Yankees in home games for the Twins. Mauer .393 against the Orioles in home games. Foul tipped and held on to by Wieters. Mauer grounded out. First time up in that leadoff spot. We said it's the on-base percentage that Paul Molitor was looking at, moving Mauer into that leadoff spot. That one will be foul back.
Well, he'd only had 22 opportunities hitting down the lineup. There the runners in scoring position. He came in at 318 and he only has 9 RBIs. So if guys are not getting on in front of him, maybe it would be a better philosophy to get him on in front of the other guys.
He's only had 2 hits in his last 19 at bats. No extra base hits in 6 games. Reaching to try and go the other way. Will foul that one back. So Gausman stays ahead of him, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the ability to hit the ball the other way for Joe Mauer, 3 batting titles.
A lot of weather around baseball by the looks of that scoreboard. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way and a swing and a miss. Great pitch down. That's 5 strikeouts for Gausman.
Yeah, that's one more than he had against the Yankees in 8 innings. I mean, watch this splitter go down. It's hard to read it out of his hand. It's about 11-12 miles per hour softer, less velocity, but really good movement.
Strikeout high this year, 7 against Tampa Bay. Career high 10 came against Toronto. Pittsburgh Cincinnati postponed, bad weather. Game in Texas, White Sox Texas. They're in a delay in their game. And Gausman's delivery to Nunez will miss. 2 down, nobody on. Nunez a base hit, run scored. Nunez now has a 9-game hit streak. Took one the other way first time up, so Jonathan Schoop at second is backed up and moved over towards that spot where he hit it.
Yeah, you don't really see him. I mean, most of the time Jonathan would be right about there. And you're right, rifle a rocket into right.
And that ball pitched away.
Kevin's going, boy, tough strike zone.
Yes.
That looked pretty good.
Gausman hasn't walked anybody, has the 5 strikeouts. 3-0 delivery on the way taken. He backed out of the batter's box almost on that one. So he is on with the first free pass surrendered. Comes with 2 down. The Orioles are going to return home Thursday to begin. That's right, Thursday. A 7-game homestand on Friday. Don't miss the first fireworks night presented by Kaiser Permanente. after the Tigers game. Great fireworks display. Seats available for you. Go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Showalter's Ball Club tied with the Red Sox, who are on their way to a win, leading 11-4 over Oakland tonight, barring a monumental comeback by a team that hasn't done that yet this year. Brian Dozier up. Dozier a base hit, his first time up. First hit against the Orioles this year, 1 for 12 in the fourth game they've played. Wind picking up a little bit and scurrying around the ballpark. As Jim said, hard to tell exactly in what direction. It feels like it's blowing in.
Well, the one thing with when you get Brian Dozier up, you know that his ability to pull the ball. I mean, that's how he had 28 home runs. That's why the average is usually in the 230 range. But again, high ball pull hitter with home run power.
Runner off first base, good speed, pops it up first base. Davis. The wind moving that one around a little bit. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. 3 complete. Twins on top 1-0. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid. All-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Little popcorn here in this beautiful downtown ballpark in Minneapolis. They would have put a roof on it, but they didn't have enough room to put up the equipment in order to move the roof back and forth. It is on a very small footprint for a ballpark here in the city center. And besides, the weather here in the summer, you don't want to be indoors. Chris Davis. Pitch is taken up and away. Davis at the plate, and the last out was recorded on the caught stealing 2-6 to Manny Machado. He's trying to get in a rundown to let Flaherty score.
I'll take a look at Chris Davis, and we look at his last 2 seasons. We're saying, okay, the average is down, but he's walking more this year. You can see right there, they're pitching maybe a little bit different. The chase, he's not chasing as much.
In the air to right. It's the nose right there.
I think the only thing that you look at is that his normal batting average with balls in play is about 317, and this year it's in about 230. So again, the only pitch. I mean, he's even hitting the ball belt high out over the plate better this year. Yet the batting average is lower, so it could be bad luck. You just don't know. You know that when you look at those numbers, you kind of one of those high and tight, low and away meetings.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to pitch him? Well, up and in, down and away.
A baseball adage. Trumbo flied out to center field his first time up.
This kid can pitch.
Rios has got a real idea about what he wants to do with hitters at the plate. He's not just throwing.
He looks to me, he's got 3+ pitches. The changeup is plus, the curveball is plus, and the fastball, when you take the velocity and the location, it's another plus pitch.
That ball off the end of the bat to right field, hit hard. Sano going back, Sano looking up, and it hits halfway up the wall. Trumbo's on his way to second base. Sano with a solid arm, not in time. Yeah, and Trumbo showing the power the other way.
Yeah, Baltimore, that is so far up on the flag court. But here, this is a tough place to hit. You got a little room in left field to hit some home runs. But up and away, and this is what Mark Trumbo can do. He gets on top of the high pitch with the best of them. Just drills it.
Unbelievable power that he has, arms and shoulders, because he really didn't get a lot of the body into that, but he just muscled it 365 feet away. So the Orioles second extra base hit, second time they've had a double. Wieters flied out first time up. He will take the pitch for a strike, and the Orioles get another chance to get the ball game tied up or better.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to keep throwing his changeup down and away, and we saw Matt on Saturday hit a couple of balls into left center. I mean, that's pretty much the only way you're going to hit it. Otherwise, if you're out in front and then he comes up and in at 92. Somebody said actually maybe reminds you a little bit of Denny Martinez. You know, similar windup, similar frame. Of course, Dennis would go on to win more games than any Hispanic pitcher in the history of the game. 246.
Pitch to Matt, swing and a miss, came on that inside corner. Well, he's impressive early on what he's doing. Left-handers against him, came in 8 for 22 with a home run. Throw almost gets away as Nunez came over to cover. He throws as hard to second as he does to the plate.
Yeah, he almost threw that one into center.
Ball had some rise on it. It's a smile on a mark. Wieters has had good luck in this ballpark. He's a .281 hitter here with a couple of home runs at Target Field. Right now just wants to get that run in. Pretty good lead at second for Trumbo. Rios delivers outside with it, and a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, I was watching his last game, and when he got his first major league win against Houston. He was able to some of the lefties get that breaking ball down and in, and then it becomes very, very effective.
And Wieters will reach, drives it down the line, got a chance for the corner, and it is a foul ball.
Yeah, that's not the one that I saw in the Houston film. That one just kind of spun up and away, and Matt says, well, maybe I could keep it fair. And not, what, about 4 feet? Slicing out of play.
Tough corners for the left and right fielders, and that ball gets down there beyond those stands that jut out. There's very little room. In that regard, it's a lot like left field at Fenway Park. In each corner, you really don't have much room to chase a ball down in foul territory or to get one in to fair territory. So Wieters back, Trumbo back to second base. 2-ball 2-strike count on him. Wieters will take it away, and the count goes 3-2.
You know, obviously a pitcher's ballpark. I mean, you got a lot of room. I mean, you go all the way to the edge of the bullpen. It's 411, high wall and right, and it's a long way.
It's a long way. Pitch 3-2 and fouled it off.
3-2 changeup. This guy looks like he's been out there for about 7-8 years. Mike Estabrook doesn't even flinch.
It's a cold night. 3-ball 2-strike delivery again down to first, and that one is foul. This ballpark, as Jim said, is not an easy one to get anything going in if you're a hitter. So much room for fly balls to be hauled in. Line drives to the gap are okay, but his 13th home runs, batting average is 3rd, runs are 8th in the middle, ERA 8th, slugging percentage is 6th, high compared to last year. Popped it up outside of third base, and that one's going to be back in the seats.
Yeah, Barria's trying everything. I mean, curveballs and changeups, fastballs, 3-2. Gausman went number 4 in the free agent draft in 2012, and Barrios was 28 behind him in the first round, 32nd pick. Actually, I think Michael Dyer, he left as a free agent, and the compensation pick was this young pitcher. They used it wisely.
Runner off second. Barrios delivers, and that one to the base hit into right field. Sano coming up, coming home is Mark Trumbo. Throw will come all the way through in a hop, gets away, and that will allow the runner to advance. So the RBI for Wieters ties the ball game up. Error will be called, allowing Matt to reach second base.
Yeah, nice hitting by Matt Wieters. And no idea what's coming. Finally looked like he got a breaking ball and then hits it hard. Yeah, there's your curveball, stays up. And Sano's going to come in. He makes a strong throw. Suzuki should have caught this ball easily. I mean, he had all kinds of time to, pick his hop, but he didn't. So the Orioles get a break. Wieters gets into scoring position.
So the RBI for Wieters will be his 9th. The error, I think, as Jim says, will be charged on Suzuki, catcher. And the pitch taken outside Alvarez. Pedro Alvarez had a base hit his first time up. Twins have had big time problems defensively. That is their 21st error, and they have allowed 17 unearned runs. An inordinate number. Great stop by Mauer, who goes to the bag for the out. Re-racked that one. That saved a run.
As you're leading off, you can move up in the lineup, and of course this is a Gold Glove catcher right here that, because of concussion, I mean, this is just a rocket. And it's certainly going to be a double. Big tall guy, able to spear it before it gets by him into the corner.
So Mauer, an outstanding defensive play.
I mean, this ball is ripped.
He had plenty of time to get to the bag.
Well, the thing is, when Justin Morneau won the MVP, he had concussion-like symptoms, and when you have a concussion, those type of falls can hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds like it's, well, how can you possibly get hurt? But I've never had a concussion that I know of. But once you get them, that's how Morneau would hurt himself. He played first base. He hurt it sliding into second base, but then would re-injure himself or have recurring symptoms.
So can the Orioles get the big 2-out RBI? Jonathan Schoop flied out his first time up. Runner at third base, a run in. Wieters moves over. What a difference that defensive play makes. Chance to get out of it here, and the pitch is going to miss inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, we've seen from Jonathan, obviously, I mean, he's like any other hitter if you make that quality breaking ball down and away. But if you hang it inside, he can go deep in a hurry.
Jonathan will take one that's down and away. Tag will be put on. Strikeout number 3. Orioles will get only 1 run. Couple of hits. Wieters gets the RBI, and the game is tied. State Major League history. In 2012, the Orioles started a ball game with back-to-back-to-back home runs. They were hit by Ryan Flaherty, J.J. Hardy, and Nick Markakis. It was the first time that a ball game had started that way in the American League, and it was the 4th time in Major League history. Then one of my all-time heroes, Billy Pertell, he struck out twice in the same inning. That was back in 1910. It was the first time that had ever happened. He played 19 years of pro ball, 5 White Sox, Red Sox, Tigers at the major league level. Finished up with a .227 batting average in 330-plus major league games. You make history any way you can. That's how he made it.
He's in the book.
And who struck him out? Walter Johnson.
Oh.
So there you go.
The big train?
Yeah, big train got him.
Yeah, he was late for the train.
Late at the station.
Yep. Wow.
Trevor Plouffe leading it off. We go to the 4th inning. Tight ball game, well pitched. 1-5-0 for the Orioles, 1-2-1 for the Twins. And in our Major League Notebook on the They Said It page, Trevor Plouffe, the man who said it. I think we will turn it around. I thought we made some strides, but we're back to playing poor baseball. The Minnesota Star Tribune.
Yeah, that's after that 1-5 road trip.
0-2 delivery on the way, and you'll take it down.
Yeah, I don't think you want to come off a road trip where you have to play the White Sox when you're not playing well. And that's what they had to do at the level they're playing.
Plouffe, Sano, and Park are due up against Kevin Gausman. Well, as Molly said today, Paul Molitor, the manager of the Twins, we were talking about the start. Now they didn't see it coming. Nobody else did. He said, hey, all you have is today. And that's what he's trying to get through to his players. It's today. Don't worry about how we started, and don't worry about what we're going to do tomorrow. Just try and get it done today, and Plouffe does. That's going to go up against that facade off the wall. Rickard, runner coming to second, got a shot at him. Not in time. Good throw, though, by Joey Rickard, but Plouffe gets a 2-bagger.
Yeah, got to it quickly and then played it off the wall. Yeah, unless you got a hamstring problem, pretty routine double. See Flaherty way off the line, and then there's the throw. Just a little late, but a good one.
Apply the tag and hold it. You see the umpires wait now. Come off that bag.
Sustain the tag.
And he did. So the leadoff double against Gausman. Now Sano struck out his first time up, started to wind up, and took the pitch inside, did not go around.
Well, you know he'd like to hit one to the right side. Of course, with his power, he might hit one to the right side and go out of here, but he does strike out a lot. As we mentioned, that's what, 42 strikeouts, 108. Of course, last year it was similar numbers. He got up 279 times, struck out 119 times, but it did hit 18 home runs.
Sano, a chopper, not where he wanted it to go. Flaherty will look the runner back, and a non-productive at bat, and there's one away. And our Jeep Inside the Numbers. Click, click, snapshot.
Well, there's your Twins, and you know, as we mentioned, I mean, they're down 15th out of the teams. You know, home runs not so bad, but runs per game they're 14th out of 15th. Batting average, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, how many runs you scoring, and not enough, and how many you giving up, and that's why they're 8 and 23. And things will change when those numbers change.
So now one away, runner remains at second. Park will take the pitch. Park has not had much success in these situations. 2 for 19. Young-Ho Park, be followed by Arcia. Ball game tied at 1. The third hit of the ball game for the Twins, the double picked up by Plouffe. Gausman looking back and stepping off. I mean, really, Plouffe was wandering. The Orioles were not holding him tight, and he had a big lead. That will bring Jonathan Schoop in a little bit. Try and hold that runner a little bit tighter. Now Schoop backs off. Inside corner strike, taking the Park.
Yeah, Yeah, the velocity is kind of where we expect it to be, which is 94 to 96, somewhere in there, early on in the game. First inning, maybe not quite as high.
Lost to Tampa Bay. No decision against the White Sox and the Yankees for Kevin Gausman. He is staying right in on the fists. Missed that one inside a little bit.
Well, Park is like most home run guys, and that's why he's here. Big time power out over the plate. And I mean big time power.
Kevin Gausman, 69th Major League appearance. 2-1 delivery on the way, and again in underneath the hands and inside. And the count will go to 3-1 on Park, with Arcia waiting on deck.
Yeah, the amount of run support you get, and that dictates sometimes how you pitch, and that's why we're seeing him be very careful.
Schoop holding the runner, jockeying with him at second base. Pitch on the way, and he got a good one.
Yeah, that's as good as you can throw a breaking ball. He's only thrown a couple. Dozier hit one into the left field, and this is fastball count, drops it off the table. Kind of like the breaking ball he had in Tampa Bay. Really good early.
So he works that count to 3-2. Plouffe off second base. Park will go after it. A chopper again in front of the hitter. Manny Machado looks and will record the out, and there are 2 down. Text Masson's word of the day, turtle, 29292 for your chance for a meet and greet with Adam Jones from Masson. That's turtle to 29292, brought to you by the Green Turtle. Watch every O's game with us. The Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Hang local. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you on this mid-50s degree cloudy, windy night here at the ballpark. A series that will hopefully have 2 games to it tomorrow. The ball game is at 1 o'clock. And a swing and a miss. Arcia going after it. Strikeout victim his first time up. 12:30 O's extra. 1 o'clock for the ball game. Tyler Wilson, Phil Hughes on Masson.
Needs to swing a little harder.
He'll have another injury.
Yeah. Wow.
Out of Venezuela. Arcia, strikeout victim, his first time up. Plouffe out there with that leadoff double has not gone anywhere, to Gausman's credit.
Yeah, if you watch Arcia, if you watch him take batting practice, tremendous strength, and then in the games, what, that's 26 strikeouts now and 64 at bats. And but the average pretty good though for a guy that strikes out a lot. Came in hitting 270.
276 last year, but limited at bats. Fastball will be up high. He's only just turned 25 years old. He's played parts now of 4 seasons with the Twins. This one should be a whole year, barring injuries. 2014 was the most games played, 103.
And now Gausman has, because of the count, he can pitch the perimeter of the strike zone.
Arcia waiting on it, and a swing and a miss. That's 6 strikeouts for Gausman. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 0 for 3 runners in scoring position in the inning for the Twins. So the Orioles coming back to tie it up on the Wieters base hit after an RBI sac fly by Trevor Plouffe in the first inning. A 1-1 ball game. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer. You're in the open air, 50 degrees right now here at the ballpark. And the pitch will be taken by Flaherty. Flaherty delivered a leadoff double. Got that in the third inning. Flaherty now 3 for 13 in this ballpark. And that is going to be taken for a strike. Berrios has walked 2, struck out 3, Gausman a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Orioles 1-5-0. The Twins 1-3-1. Flaherty raises the arms a little bit, and the pitch is going to miss up, maybe in.
I can just tell you, Danny Santana playing a little bit deeper after Ryan Flaherty hit one over his head.
Flaherty will foul that one back. So it has kind of settled in with Hardy out. Flaherty's the third. Manny Machado is at short. Paul Janisch is the backup shortstop.
And you get a left-handed starter. Yeah, you'll probably see Janisch at short. Manny will move back over to third.
There's a little flexibility, and he got him on the inside corner.
Yeah, that's the breaking ball that I saw that when he beat the Astros down in Houston. This time it's for a strike down there. Boy, he was starting it right over the inside corner and then breaking it down and in. This time he just freezes Ryan Flaherty. Good curved ball down and in.
The Berrios gets his 4th strikeout of the game. Leadoff man retired. Rickard takes the pitch. Fly ball out. Sacrifice. 3-game hit streak coming into the ball game for Joey. And one into the screen. Rickard tied for second in infield hits. Continues to use his speed. That should be a good number for him all season long, ranking in infield hits. He's going to beat some out. Puts that ball on the ground in the hole. Tough guy to throw out. Breaking ball outside.
Yeah, that's the whole bunting strategy. Just bring him in and maybe hit it by him. You would think they might be a half a step in anyway because of the speed factor. And then we've seen him hit his 3rd home run on Mother's Day. He's got a little bit of pop.
Generates some pretty good bat speed. Rickert will take that pitch outside. Dog gets the count evened up. See the infield hit leaders. Adam Eaton, Del Marte, and then Rickert. And that one's in the dirt. Trying to work that outside corner down low and not getting it there. 3-2.
Well, it looks like he's got faith in all the pitches, and that's why he'll, the first time up he just buzzed some fastballs down and away to Joey Rickard, and now he's using all his pitches. That was a changeup on a 2-2 count.
And taken, and he gets the strike call.
Yeah, that front hip breaking ball, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it certainly is effective. What's Rickard just give up on it because he thinks it's going to be inside. It comes back and catches the inside corner.
5 strikeouts for the 21-year-old, 3 in a row. Base is empty. Manny Machado, base hit and a walk. And the pitch will be outside. And he continues. Battle for the batting average leading. He is number 2. Trumbo is 4 coming into today's play. That one in the air to left field. He got a lot of it at the wall. And goodbye home run. And Manny Machado just continues this unbelievable start to this season. Machado gets his 10th and his 23rd RBI.
Well, he takes the fastball back the middle the first time. I mean, a bullet. I'm talking about what Zach Britton, Orioles closer, said that Manny hits the ball on the nose so often, and that's pretty much what that 10th home run was about. You think of, you throw him a straight changeup, you think you keep it down, well, that'll get it done. Well, it didn't.
Manny now tied for second in homers in the American League, and that'll be taken by Adam Jones for a strike.
Yeah, look, Suzuki, I mean, it's just a changeup, and it is in the middle. And just speeds up the bat.
There's another one even further way back. Bullpen and goodbye. Home run upstairs. What a shot by Adam Jones. Back-to-back home runs with Manny Machado. And that baby was tagged. And the Orioles have a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, Jonesy gets to join the party. 6 on Sunday.
Just his second home run of the season, his 10th RBI. Well, Buck Showalter, we told you, he said before the game that Adam is fine physically now.
Take a look, and I mean, this is a hanging curveball. Like we said, he'll use them all. But this one hangs. The changeup is in the middle of the plate to Machado, and they both go a long way. That one was pretty majestic.
That was. I thought it was going to come down in the bullpen, but it had enough carry to keep on going to the crowd.
Well, it got up over where they keep the actual. I mean, they got Barrios up there. They got his pitches and his strikes, and he's thrown a lot of them. And it's over that.
Yeah. He had given up 2 home runs combined in the first 2 starts. He's given up 2 back-to-back in this game. And Chris Davis, who is 0 for 2, goes after that one. So the Orioles now have scored 74 of 137 runs via the home run. 74 of 137.
So how about throwing back to back, and then you get the guy that led the American League in home runs coming up, and then 3 years ago hit 53, 47 last year. That'll get you maybe to pitch a little bit around the zone, even though Chris will be the first to tell you not. I mean, did hit a home run the other day, still not swinging the way he wants to.
And both home runs coming with 2 down. Delivery to Davis. That one's going to be to right field. Sano over, diving. It's going to bounce. He's looking for it. Davis makes a big turn, but will stay with a strong arm he's got. A ball that looked like it should have been caught. Not easy, but he was there.
Well, again, this is an infielder playing right field. Top spins it, so it's going to be going down, and then that does hit him in the glove. But you're right, not an easy play. Big guy, weighs about 255 pounds. I mean, very athletic. Certainly not a routine play.
No. So we will assume for the moment Chris Davis will get the base hit on that. And that'll keep it alive for Trumbo, another power hitter in the lineup. The Orioles now have 5 back-to-back home runs this year. Alvarez, Scope, Davis, Trumbo, Scope, and Reimold. Reimold and Machado. Now add Machado and Jones. And going the other way, Trumbo fouls it off. He got a double the other way earlier in the ballgame and scored on a Wieters single. He's 1 for 2 in the ballgame.
So obviously some more hittable pitches here in the 5th. And it all started with back-to-back strikeouts.
And our Maryland Lottery contestant, Vasudev Barachuli, has picked up $500 for each of those home runs.
And $500 for playing. Did you get a thank you note from the gentleman that
the 6 home run game?
No.
No.
He's probably trying to reach you.
I can understand that. Yep. And a swing and a miss, and gets him. So Barrios picks up the strikeout, but the Orioles get the lead. 2 home runs back to back. Manny Machado, his 10th, continues on a tear, and Adam Jones, 443 feet back to back homers. Mile One upcoming schedule for the Orioles. Mile One Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at mile1.com. Tomorrow, day game. Wrap up the short. It's going to be a 2-game set, hopefully, and then the Orioles go home and take on the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers trying to stop that 7-game losing streak. It's a tie ball game tonight because they get some firepower. Brad Ausmus a little bit under fire when you lose 7 in a row. And then the White Sox, as we mentioned, playing as well as they are. But interesting ball club.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, Triple Crown winner in Cabrera. So Kevin Gausman, you've just been presented with more runs than you normally get.
Celebrate.
Well, yeah,
by getting outs.
Exactly. Shut down inning if you can.
Kurt Suzuki takes the pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Suzuki flied out first time up. Santana, then top of the order, Joe Mauer due up. This Minnesota team 18-13 last year at the same point. This year 8-23. What a massive turnaround. Scope's got the best angle. That's why he makes the catch. In our Major League Notebook, speaking of Detroit, on our not so good page, Detroit's been outscored 48-20, 7-game losing streak. Lost tonight would match their longest skid in a decade. With a loss tonight, the Royals would fall 2 games under 500 for the first time since July of 2014. And the A's have lost 12 of their last 16. Their starters 3-11, a 7.62 in the last 16 games.
You know, where's Rich Hill where you need him? I think he'd probably pitch tomorrow night. Other than that, they're really struggling.
Unexpected. I mean, generally, you're talking about the A's over the years. It's about the pitching and their starters have gotten it done.
Well, you know, I read Sonny Gray last night. He had a 4-run lead. He has now given up 4 or more runs in 3 straight starts. It's never happened before in successive starts. So, I mean, this is their all-star. And I'm sure he might, with his talent, probably a little bit premature. He said, I had nothing. He said, I couldn't, nothing worked. And of course, they're in Fenway Park, and it's always tough. And beat 13 to 5 tonight.
Look where Flaherty is. He's joined him in the batter's box, and he's still bunted.
It's all right.
Santana strikeout victory. Flaherty saying, go ahead.
Well, remember the 4-game series when Minnesota came into Baltimore last year, and of course the Twins would win all 7. It was like tutorial on small ball, and I think that's, you have a lot of young players. Paul Molitor, yeah, in the Hall of Fame, he could do pretty much everything, steal bases, you know, over 3,400 hits. But if they don't do the little things, they're not going to score a run. They're not going to be in games. So at least Santana thinking about getting on. And then 97. Watch this. And this is why you think about bunting. Just swinging when the ball's already in the glove. That's the kind of stuff that Kevin Gausman now has after he got out of the first inning.
7 strikeouts. That's his season high. He did it against Tampa Bay. As we said, 10 is his career high. Here's Joe Mauer, top of the order. 2 down, nobody on. Mauer has struck out, grounded out. And only a sense, but you get a feeling, you know, it's only in the 5th inning, but after those 2 home runs were put up and the Orioles got a 3-1 lead, you can almost feel from that dugout of the Twins, here we go again. You just get a little, there's body language down there that wasn't there earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, and 3 runs is
nothing.
Nothing. No, I mean, obviously they're struggling. And, you know, Barrios certainly hasn't imploded. You know, a lot of young pitchers give up back-to-back home runs. You're walking the next guy. No. All they got to do is get somebody on and get the right guy up, and it's a tie game. I mean, you know, Mauer can hit anybody. You know, he can hit line drives, base hits to the left with the best of them. You got Nunez, your hottest hitter on deck.
Question is, do they believe it?
Well, you're right.
I don't know. 1-1. That one's going to be fouled away. I mean, there's no quit. It's just that sense of this has just been so hard through the first 30.
And then you got a guy.
Gausman over Ginton.
Yeah, and Gausman is dealing.
Warm-up action of Botsman up in the bullpen. That may be it for Barrios, because he was up in the last half inning and he stayed up. Mauer will go the other way again. That'll be foul back. We talked about how tough it is to hit to right field here because it's such a big ballpark. Joe Mauer, when the park was first opened and he came in here and took a look out there, and it was like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to pull a baseball out of this ballpark? You get that big overhand, that granite front you see there, where you can hit a ball up and into that, but that's a long way off, 470 feet away, 370, sorry, and you don't get much of a break down the line. So Mauer ended up thinking, I'm not going to be able to put many baseballs up there, so I better start going the other way.
And he does that with the best of them, and that's, you know, that's how he won the batting titles. He won 3 of them. His last home run year is when they were at the Metrodome. He had 28, then 10, 11.
Pitch will be taken away. Mauer works the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He is 5 for 10 now against the Orioles starter Kevin Gausman. A walk and 7 strikeouts for Kevin. He gets tougher in his starts so far this year, each time through the order. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken down low.
Yes, so they get what they want. The base runner.
Only the second walk surrendered. Nunez had the other, and he's coming to the plate. Couple of walks. Nunez a base hit first inning, 9-game hit streak. He drew a walk in the 3rd. So now Nunez will try and get a 2-out rally going here in the 5th inning. .42 runs per ball game here at home, second lowest in the league. Orioles play the infield back. Nunez will take it for a strike. Interesting, the Twins have only played the Orioles in the American League East. The Orioles with that opening series winning all 3, and that's the only team they've played. Now the Orioles are going to finish it up with the Twins, but for the makeup game. Pitch on the way, and that's going to be outside. Gausman trying to get him to chase. Nunez wouldn't go.
Yeah, Eduardo, of course, he had the unenviable role when he was with the Yankees, and he came over last year in a trade playing behind Derek Jeter. So only when Jeter got hurt did he ever get to play. Other than that, my occasional second base.
Nunez fouls it down the line the other way. And our PNC inside the numbers. Long balls.
Yeah, well, that's what you're talking about. I mean, the ballparks have something to do with it. Of course, the Angels, well, at least with some of those teams. You know, but of course, Yankee Stadium, you don't play all your games, but the Angels are a home run team. Of course, the Royals, Cleveland, and Minnesota play in big ballparks.
A lot of injuries on that list of ball clubs. Not that that affects home runs necessarily. That ball's popped up. It'll come back into the seats.
Now,
I was just counting today. I mean, again, we're into another season where injuries are just piling up. Yesterday there were 14 players who did not play or came out of games with injuries. 5 of them already on the DL in one day. It just seems like every year the number of injuries, they come sooner, they last longer, and there are more of them. 1-2 pitch. Wow. 9-iron down to first. Davis will step on the bag, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Orioles lead 3-1.
This very impressive youngster, turned 22 in a couple of weeks. Boy, he used all his pitches. Look at his strikes, 61 in 93 pitches. Got a change up in the middle of the plate for a Machado home run, hanging curveball. Other than that, pitched very well. Abad, first year with the Twins. Of course, the Orioles have seen him around, the last couple of years with Oakland. Yet to give up a hit against a left-hander. Again, you want to help your bullpen. I think that was one of the weaknesses for the Twins last year when they won 83 games. Terry Ryan goes out, gets Abad, and he's certainly capable of making you better out of the bullpen.
This will be his 11th appearance against the Orioles. He's worked only 8 innings in those 11 previous 10 games. He's not given up a run to the Orioles and only 4 hits. So Abad on becomes a bullpen game for the Twins. The Orioles get Matt Wieters coming up. Wieters, Alvarez, and Schoop. Matt turns around to bat right-handed. He is 3 for 18 right-handed. Picked up RBI single in this ball game. 1 for 2 left-handed. So he's 13 for 55 from that side of the plate.
Yeah, Bob with a nice breaking ball, good changeup. Usually in the low 90s, can occasionally get the velocity up a little bit.
Third base side of the rubber, and the half windup, and he will get Wieters on the swinging strike, and the count will go to 0-2. Yeah, Orioles up 3-1.
Yeah, another one of those guys, Gary's a lot of times will maybe quick pitch you a little bit with nobody on base.
Matt will go after it, foul it off, had to lean out over the plate to get to that one and protect. 0-2 count. Orioles finish up with the day game, then head on home for the 4-game set against the Tigers. Tyler Wilson, Phil Hughes tomorrow on Masson. The 12:30 O's Extra, 1:10. First pitch here in Minnesota. Hopefully, rain still hanging around the area.
Yeah, Phil Hughes, certainly a disappointing start to his year, 1-5 with an ERA closer to 6 than it is to 5 runs.
Just missed Abad. Thought he had a strike. He does the 360 turnaround on the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook.
Well, the one thing about it, he's been very consistent, and you don't see too many umpires of this caliber that can not give you that maybe ball a half an inch off the plate. He's done a great job.
This time a base hit into right field. Matt heating up of late, so he's got a couple of singles, 2 for 3 in the ball game. This one leading off the 6th inning. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 supporting the Be More for Healthy Babies, and the Orioles have drawn 96 walks, $4,800. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Oriole fans on hand here in Minneapolis watching some O's baseball. Unfortunately, didn't get to see him last night. Probably will be back for the day game tomorrow. Alvarez has grounded out and picked up a single. He was robbed of a double and an RBI on a play by Joe Mauer, his last at bat. Comes inside, misses.
Well, if he hits it as hard at Mauer again, he'll dive out of the way. He was way back and made a fabulous play, diving to his left to keep it from going down into the corner. I mean, Alvarez torched it.
Alvarez 2 for 5 off Abad. Will miss inside with it again, and the count goes to 2-0. To get a right-hander ready. Brandon Kintzler in the bullpen for the Twins. 2-0 count. Alvarez will look for one to drive here. And an off-speed breaking ball for a strike.
And a good one. Well, remember, as we told you, he hadn't given up a hit to a lefty yet. They're 0 for 15.
That pitch may be a reason why.
I guess.
Bullpen of the Twins, second highest ERA in the league. 2-1 pitch to him, and that one in the air is going to tail away towards left. Danny Santana will get there. Alvarez is retired. Our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Oh, Felke Peralta. And I told Buck Showalter, the manager of the Orioles, I said, he's going to be our minor league player of the year. And he looked at me across his desk. He's the real deal. Real good arm. Good fastball, 92 to 95. He can throw strikes. I kind of like it. Young, 19. And it's good to see somebody, when your manager looks across, puts his head down and tells you the real deal. I know what he said about remember when Eduardo Rodriguez played for the Orioles before he went in the Andrew Miller trade? There wasn't a day that you walked in Buck's office the day after he pitched that Buck said, great reports about Rodriguez.
Yep. And there were.
Yeah, so maybe we'll hear the same thing about Peralta.
Ground ball right off the end of the bat. Duluth, Dozier over the mound. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Orioles on top.
Highway highlights, 1-1 ball game going into the 5th. Couple of strikeouts, and then Manny Machado comes up, hits the changeup for his 10th home run. Hanging curveball. Adam Jones will go deep right over Barrios's name out on the into the mezzanine, second deck. And the Orioles take a 3-1 lead. And those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. We told you about run support, and so again, you don't see this very often when you get the whip. That's walks and hits per inning. So you got Strasburg, Pedro's in the Hall of Fame. Strasburg just signed for $175 million, and I want to be Kevin Gausman's agent. No, look at those numbers. I mean, hasn't won, and the reason is because of the run support. He's pitched very well, much better than last year to this point, and much better after the first inning in this game.
Run off him on a sac fly after back-to-back singles with 1 away against Gausman in the first. And since then, he has shut him down. And starts here with a breaking ball strike. Brian Dozier. Dozier's had a base hit, and he has popped out 3, 4, 5 in the order against Gausman. Pitch down and away. 4-game hit streak now for Dozier. The Twins facing their 6th consecutive loss. If they don't come through here, the Orioles looking to make it 3 in a row in the W side. Went upstairs with the heat at 95 miles an hour. That's a nice, easy delivery fastball. Dozier just could not catch up to it.
Yeah, his last, let's see, the last strikeout of Arcia was 98 to get out of the 4th inning, and it's pretty effortless.
Down the line in right field, and that will be a foul ball. Now Presley up in the pen. Ryan Presley, right-hander. They will not want to keep a bat in there Left-hander against the power bats of the Orioles at the top of the order in the next inning. 1-2 delivery on the way. Dozier goes to the middle and a base hit. Just had enough to get through. So a leadoff single there in the 6th, and again chance for the Twins. On Saturday, the first 7,500 fans 14 and under are going to get the youth bat and ball set presented by Play Ball. Gear up for the Birdland Summer. You and your family get to enjoy a ball game. The Tigers are in town. 7:05 game. That's Saturday. Tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
Yeah, a little high fastball, and that's what Dozier does. Great fastball hitter, and now you got to make some pitches.
2 out of 6 leadoff batters on for the Twins. Plouffe will take the pitch for a ball. Plouffe has an RBI sac fly, and he has doubled. So Plouffe's got a 3 for 8 lifetime against Kevin Gausman.
Well, if you look at the last 2 years, he's a double machine. 40 the year before, 35 last year. Home runs went down last year, 14 from 22, but he's a home run guy.
Plouffe with power, and as we said, just a 3-1 ball game. Orioles about hit the Twins in this game 9-4. The Twins have had some runners on and not been able to move them around. They've left a runner on in all innings except the second when Kevin had a 1-2-3 inning. Manny Machado, Jones with the home runs in the 5th put the Orioles up. Wieters tied it. RBI base hit in the 4th. Pitch on the way that will catch the outside corner for a strike, and it goes to 2-1 on Trevor Plouffe. Gausman checking who's got second, turning around to Manny. Short lead at first base for Dozier, held by Davis. 2-1 delivery, and that one's it, and this game's tied. Way back in left field, and goodbye home run. Plouffe delivers the long ball for the Twins, and that will re-energize the Minnesota lineup. And that was a no-doubter off the bat. His 3rd 8 RBIs.
Yeah, maybe a little lower than the one Adam Jones got to hit. But it's your hanging breaking ball, and again, Dozier hit a hanger in the 1st inning for a single. This one, you'd like to see it. I mean, look at that. That's just perfect. It hangs up there. The ball doesn't spin when you hang it. And Trevor Plouffe, he said we needed to take care of the Orioles and do some slugging, and he did.
That one hit the right field. Trumbo will come in on it. And Miguel Sano is retired on the fly ball out. He is 0 for 3. So for Kevin Gausman, only the 2nd long ball that he has given up this season. Both hit by right-handers. Brian Mattis in the bullpen.
Well, a tough time of a game, Gary, because you know you're still very much in the game. It's 3-3, and this is where the emotional part of the game comes in. Where you, and I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be able to handle this. He didn't want to make the pitch he made. There's a low strike at the knees. As you mentioned, 3rd time through the order, and you know it's fine if you make your pitches, and if you don't, it's when you can struggle.
Just the 27th home run the Twins have hit this year. Taken inside by Park. Park has struck out and grounded out. So right back into the game. 3-3 on their 5th hit are the Minnesota Twins. Park will take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Young-Go Park also with power. How much of that can be translated from the South Korean League to Major League Baseball? A tale to be written in his Major League career. Swing and a miss. Good pitch, Gausman, and that's 8 strikeouts.
Well, that's what I was talking about. You just have to kind of emotionally get it back together. You made a mistake. The only time you get a chance to win a game is if you get out of this inning. Might even pitch another inning. Great splitter right here. In the back of your mind, he's probably saying, boy, I wish I'd thrown that to Plouffe. But it was probably the right pitch, Gary, just to the wrong location, and he didn't miss it.
So a season high for him now after a career high of 10. And a big swing and a miss. Arcia has struck out twice in the ball game.
And the pitch count at 101, which is why the Oriole bullpen is up. But you never know it from the velocity.
Or the ease of the delivery. Arcia last year got off to a good start, then ended up on the DL with a hip flexor problem. Ended up going down, had to work at AAA, and only got in 19 games for the Twins. Arcia will swing and miss on a pitch down and in.
So take a look at how certain guys maintain their velocity. That pitch just at 97. Kevin Gausman and that group have been able, 6th inning on, to maintain the velocity. And that one at 98.
Third time up, we talked about how it had been beneficial for Gausman through the lineup. First time 154, second time 192, and then down to 071. Third time through the lineup. That number is going to go up with this 6th inning. The 2 runs and 2 hits. Ooh-ah. Did he go?
98, 96, 97, 98. It's a zoom ball. Didn't swing.
Couldn't swing.
Well, that's 2. Really good point.
No chance on.
I'd love it. He dodged out of the way, and then of course kind of looked down at the third base umpire and said, "No, I didn't go."
Full count delivery on the way by Gausman will be foul back. That went out over the plate a little bit, but down on one knee. Arcia went after it.
That was 107 pitch of the night. He's still throwing 98. So.
What's your point? Go ahead.
My point is he's not tired.
Okay.
But he's
so
going to be coming. He's going to be coming out of this game.
Yep. Ball fouled back into the screen again.
Because that's just the way they do it.
It's the nature of the beast in this day and age, isn't it?
And there's no criticism of Buck Showalter. You got a great bullpen. But if you played for Earl Weaver, he'd say, is that guy on the mound throwing 98 better than the guy I'm warming up? And most of the time he was.
Yep.
So you stayed out there, and the game has just changed.
3-2 delivery on the way and a swing and a miss. So 9 strikeouts in the ballgame for Gausman, but 2 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, the Plouffe 2 RBI homer. We now have a tie game. Orioles baseball on MASN brought to you by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. And by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. The folks in the truck are threatening that tomorrow they will be sending up
I think
basket
they did that last year.
They did. That is a very dangerous place to be. Those are so good. They're hot. You have a little cinnamon. You have a little sugar. You buy them by the basketful. You can eat all of those in that bag and never even know that you had anything to eat.
well, Ryan Presley, he's done a great job for him. Tied with 18 appearances. And again, good fastball. Came out of the Rule 5 guy out of the Red Sox organization. Had to stay with the Twins all of 2013. He's got a good fastball, 93 to 95. Got a little slider, hard, one almost 90 miles per hour, curveball, and then a two-seamer.
So Ryan Flaherty leads it off against him, a double, and he is struck out. 7th inning, ball game tied at 3. Orioles 3, 9-0. They've left 5. The Twins 3-5-1. They have left 4. Vaughn worked an inning, gave up 1 hit. First man out of the bullpen. Ryan Flaherty goes the other way, and it will be a foul ball. For Presley against the Orioles in his career, this is only the 6th time he's faced them. No runs, 2 hits over 6 innings worked against O's teams. Flaherty, Joey Rickard, and then Manny Machado. Out of that high set, a towering pop up to center. Going back is Dozier, second baseman. Plenty of time. Flaherty retired. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. The outfield and infielders for the Twins do have a good time catching fly balls and pop-ups. It's an adventure. We've seen, and I don't mean that negatively, Santana's done a 360 a couple of times and then come underneath it. Dozier went back there, and on balls normally caught by outfielders, infielders are waving him off, and then they joke about it after they catch it. Presley with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I see he's still talking to his center fielder, Danny Santana. Joey Rickard at the plate has struck out, sacrifice, and he has flied out. And will take Presley's delivery. Did not go around on it. Tight ball game, well pitched. Long balls made the difference. 2 by the Orioles, 1 for the Twins. And a strike, Rickard on the outside corner.
Yeah, that's the high hook and late breaker. So what, about a 12-mile-per-hour difference? And he's got a hard slider to go with it.
1-2 delivery on the way. That one breaks outside and trying to get him to chase. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes from Presley. The Orioles get Brad Brock up in the bullpen. Ryan Presley, 2-2 delivery, and just off the end of the bat and foul.
Yeah, good curveball. 27 games last year, one of 2 pitchers in the major leagues with 25 innings or more. Didn't throw a home run. Not a lot of appearances compared to a lot of other relievers.
Rule 5 draft from the Boston Red Sox. Tagged it, center field, deep. Santana going back, has room, and will make the play.
Yeah, we were talking over the weekend. Mark Quinn, the assistant hitting instructor, said we got to get more line drives because he belted that ball. But again, good pitchers. You get a guy that got pull power, but straight away, tough to head it out of this ballpark.
So Rickard is retired. There are 2 down. And Manny Machado. For Manny, the hits just keep on coming.
Yeah, I mean, he had a screamer up the middle for a base hit. And then he got him out the second time. Then he throws a changeup. It wasn't a hanger. It's just down the middle, and he just smokes it out of here.
There's another one to right field. That's going to be a base hit. So Machado, 2 singles, a home run, and a walk in this game, and he's been jumping on the pitches early in the at-bat. Hits another one. Take a look at our league leaderboard, brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
We'll see Kinsler. He'll come in with the Tigers. Ortiz off to a much better start this year. Odor with the Rangers. And so I already saw Adam Eaton, one of the big reasons the White Sox are doing as well as they are. Their leadoff hitter.
So Manny adding to that total here tonight. Fouled, Mauer, and no play. Another 3-hit ball game for Manny Machado. I mean, really, you almost expect it now, but if you step back and take a look at what he's doing here to start this season, it really is amazing. He's had 13 2-hit games, 2 3-hit games, and a 4-hit game as part of that leading 16 multi-hit games.
You get an idea of what he's about just by looking at tonight. I mean, you know, you got Barrios throwing really well. He rifles one back up the middle. You know, the third time up, he throws a change up. He hits it into the seats in left field, and then he hits a screamer off a relief pitcher to right field. So he's used all fields, which is what he does about as well as anybody.
And hard.
And he's starting to swing. When we talked to him after the game on Sunday, he said, you know, it's experience. It's at bats.
Jones will take the pitch down low. Manny Machado and Jones back-to-back home runs in the 5th inning. Adam getting his second. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Now has 8 career home runs against the Twins, and 5 of the 8 have been hit here in this ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Tie game 3-3 in the 7th. Adam goes after it and provides a souvenir.
Yeah, there's the hanger. I mean, pretty much like the Manny kind of didn't have to say anything. It just gaping mouth open, watching how far it went, and that's what Plouffe did to Kevin Gausman on a similar pitch. A hanging curveball can go a long way, can't it?
443 was the distance on that. And a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Suzuki makes the play to Mauer. 7th inning stretch time. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Tie game 3-3.
Kevin Gausman is not going to get a win. Pitched really well. Season high 9 strikeouts. Sano down on the splitter. I mean, real good fastball as high as 98. And again, another splitter right there on the strikeout. Threw it by Garcia. Santana couldn't do much. But one mistake. The hanging curveball to Plouffe. 2-run home run. So again, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of strikes. So he will leave. And now our Jiffy Lube pitching change feature brought to you by Jiffy Lube, where participating stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube inspect your brakes today. Brad Brach to keep it even at 3-3. Fastball, slider, changeup pitcher. Having a terrific year. 3-0 would certainly like to come in, scoreless inning, have the Orioles score some runs. With right-handers 080 and then lefties at 181.
So Brock will be facing 8, 9, and 1. Kurt Suzuki will lead it off. He is flied out, popped out. Then Santana and Mauer at the top of the order. And the pitch from Brock is there. Suzuki 1 for 4 off Brock. Trevor May in the bullpen for the Twins. Brock's delivery to him, and the fastball is going to be taken up high. Veteran Kurt Suzuki has not had a hit against the Orioles this year. He's gone 0 for 8 in the 4 games these two teams have played. Brock's pitch to him, and that's going to be jumped on, fouled right straight back.
Yeah, that's 95, but he thought he could do more with it. Kind of made a face after he fouled it back.
Suzuki steps out on Brock for a moment. Twins catcher trying to get it going. One more may win this ball game for either team. In the air to right center field. Jones will get there in plenty of time. Suzuki retired. Well, voting's open for the 16 All-Star game at Orioles.com/vote-orange. You can vote up to 35 times per email address. Maximum 5 votes, 24-hour period. So get on there and cast your ballots. Vote early, often in orange. Orioles.com/vote-orange. And a lot of worthy choices. None more so than Machado. Looking to bunt again. Santana has struck out a couple of times. Flaherty came in halfway last at bat, doing the same thing here. Davis is a step in front of the bag by the time the pitch comes in at first. Shows it again. Butcher Boy tried to drive it down Flaherty's throat and fouled it away.
Yeah, 2014 hit over 300, 319, and then dropped about 105 points last year. So the league adjusted, and he's trying to do something to get on base.
Brock with Flaherty still in. Does not bunt. Swings, and it'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Brad Brock, 9th game against these Twins. 4 runs, 14 hits, and 8 innings over his career against Minnesota. This one hits it. It'll be a base hit. Now the more important question, is he okay?
Yeah, you know, it's funny, the adrenaline, and you get hit. You know, that trainer Richie Bancel's going to run out. Can't get the glove down. It's just sometimes impossible. A little slider, he's going to hit right back up the middle, and he drills it. I think it got him somewhere around the thigh or knee on the right side. That's the push-off leg. Better angle right here. Either way, it hurts. So
it was real close to that knee.
Yeah, maybe just a shade above it.
Brock says he's okay. Santana gets the base hit. Now Joe Mauer at the top of the order, and real speed over there at first base. 5 out of 9 for Danny Santana.
Yeah, that year we talked about when he came up 2014, stole 20, only got 4 times. So you're the Twins, they're not playing well. You got a guy that can hit with 2 strikes in Mauer. I mean, if you think you can steal a base, I would think you'd be sending him.
And Brock, well aware of that, throws over.
Well, everybody aware.
Brad has pitched in the 2 previous games this year in Baltimore against them. He didn't give anything up, 2 innings. A couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. Did have a blown save opportunity, even though the Orioles would win the ball game. So a little cat and mouse now will be played here between Brock and Santana.
Yeah, and then with Joe Mauer, who's a contact hitter, I mean, if you're Paul Molitor, you got a lot of options. If he gets behind him, gets in any count, you can start the runner. You can pretty much count on Mauer not to swing through a pitch.
Mauer waiting, showed bunt, and takes the pitch for a strike. And Flaherty back at third. Mauer has had a home run off Brock in his career. One of the 3 hits Mauer has picked up against the Oriole reliever. 3 for 5. Joe with a 1-strike count. 1 down. Runner goes. Pitch out is there, but not in time.
What a big
one-hopper.
Yeah, what a big jump he had. Take a look. Throw. And pretty close. I'm sure they're going to look. They're going to look. And
Orioles still looking, and nope, no challenge.
you know, we always talk about where you catch the ball if you're an infielder. You try to catch the ball a little farther back, because if you catch it that far out front, you have to reach back. That's where you miss J.J. Hardy.
Takes that a little time to get
Yeah,
that glove
exactly.
back. So now the potential go-ahead at second base on the stolen base by Santana. Mauer, 2 strikes, and will take the pitch up high for a ball. So Mauer in the leadoff spot, and then wouldn't you know, in a tie ball game, bottom half of the 7th inning, batting in the leadoff spot, he gets the chance to put the Twins on top in the game.
And as we mentioned, 318 with the runners in scoring position.
Big lead at second, and a big cut on a heater he can't get to. So Brock gets it.
Gary, perfect pitch, up and in. You know he loves the ball away. If you get in the middle of the plate, that's the one he usually hits fair, and they come up. The ball looks like late cut. He just can't get to it. You could see him trying to get somehow the bat head to the ball. It just couldn't catch up. He got to hit that ball up and in so far out in front, and he just couldn't do it.
So now Nunez will get the opportunity. Nunez came in 4 for 10 in these situations. He's batting second. Nunez a walk, a base hit, a run scored, and he is grounded out. Santana, with that tremendous speed, can score on just about anything that's a hit, especially with 2 down. He's going to be taking off on contact. Twins are 0 for 4 in these situations tonight. Brad Brach a look back. Nunez waits. He'll take it. Bounces, skips off the plate for a ball.
You know, it's amazing when you look at Brad Brach. You never know he even got hit. It doesn't look like he's favoring it.
Nope.
And that's a push-off leg.
I bet that's what Buck Showalter wanted to know from Richie Van Sells. What do you think? 1-0 count. Game much like the ones played in Baltimore by these two teams. 1-0 delivery. That'll be inside. The Orioles won that opening series 3-2, 3-2, and 4-2. And here we are in a 3-3 ball game.
And there's no bargain on deck already with a couple of singles. Brian Dozier. Even though Nunez was their hottest hitter coming in. You probably think this is a changeup count. Nope, fast. He got a fastball. And he took it.
Brad Brach moving it away from him. Runner at second base with 2 down. Nunez has not had an at-bat against Brach. 2-1 delivery on the way. Lean, strike again on the outside corner. So Brach spots it there twice.
Yeah, and
even the count.
At 95. Yeah, Brad said that that extended outing, 2 1/3 innings in Kansas City, kind of got him back on track. If he was ever off track. But
Nunez has walked only 3 times, 15 strikeouts, and add another. So Brach able to get him 2 away and then jammed him. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on in scoring position. 7th complete tie game. Our Yellowwood bringing the lumber, and the Orioles have done that in this ball game. Manny Machado got a base hit first time up. Flaherty drilled one for a big double. Orioles Matt Wieters getting one. Machado home run. Jones a home run. Those were back-to-back shots. Yellowwood bringing the lumber. Red Rock, after he got hit by that shot off the leg. Richie Van Sel's the Orioles trainer, just making sure he's okay. Looked like it when he was pitching. Tie game.
Trevor May comes on for the Twins. We saw him as a starter last year. Went 4-8 and 4-1 out of the bullpen. So he's been on a roll, pitching very well. 1 inning in his last 10 appearances. Only a couple of runs in those 11 innings. Hard thrower, 95. Great changeup. And not a bad hook. He actually has starter stuff, but the numbers indicate that he's better when they bring him in out of the bullpen.
Chris Davis against him, 1 for 5, a home run. Davis a base hit, 1 for 3 in the ball game. 8th inning, pitch there for a strike to Chris. May worked in the series in Baltimore, came on for a couple of ball games, gave up a run on 4 hits in 4 innings worked at Camden Yards this year. May's delivery. Davis will take that one to left center field. Outfield was almost playing on the wall. Garcia comes over and will get it back in, and Chris has got a leadoff single. A couple of hits in the game for Davis. Well, visit Orioles.com/auction right now to bid on the special Mother's Day jerseys and caps worn last Sunday by the Orioles players and coaches. Each item authenticated and autographed, available with the proceeds benefiting the Orioles Charitable Foundation and the Cancer Research and Awareness Program. Bidding closes Sunday evening at 10. Here's Trumbo at double, 1 for 3. He will take it for a strike. Orioles now with 11 hits. They have out hit the Minnesota Twins 11-6. The ball game is tied. If they can move Davis around. Wieters waiting on deck. Trevor May's delivery to him, working away, and it is away.
Yeah, it seems, and it's not the first guy you send to the bullpen that's maybe done some starting, and the velocity goes up dramatically. We saw it with Tommy Hunter. But he does in his back pocket have a great changeup. Of course, a couple of good curveballs to Chris Davis, tried to sneak a fastball by him. That didn't work.
Trumbo will foul that back. Take a look at the numbers that Trumbo has put up in these situations. Wow.
Yeah, Castellanos, we'll see him when he comes in with the Tigers. And of course, Manny all the way at the bottom of the 5. Those are pretty impressive numbers.
Trumbo has continued his reaching base streak to 23 now with the double he picked up in the 4th inning. He would score on a Wieters RBI base hit. Darren O'Day is ready in the bullpen. So a real tight game here in the 8th inning. And with Davis on, leadoff man for the Orioles, trying to take advantage of that. Orioles have had 3 leadoff batters on. They did not score in those innings. Pitch outside, Suzuki with a nice block to hold the runner.
Yeah, I would imagine May, who's has certainly more experience. They only have one more lefty in their bullpen, and that's Pat Dean, and his first appearance will be his major league debut. So you would think May would be the guy that they're going to go to in this inning and not match up.
Trumbo waiting on the 2-2. Got it. He's going to rip that one into left field, and it will be caught. A sliding Arcia makes the play. Playing back by the warning track, ended up being right where he needed to be to get it.
Yeah, right on the nose. A little curveball, and then when he got it covered, a lot of times you come down into a slide. Actually, it's easier to track the ball than reaching down, especially when some of them move, and Trevor May liked it.
So May gets a big out there, holding Davis at first. Wieters 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3, couple of singles and RBI, and he's flied to center field. Infield now double play depth with 1 away. Throttle back to 86 and gets him out in front of it.
That's that changeup, and I always thought that was one of his best pitches when he started because he could throw it at any count. Good movement and very late movement.
Wieters 0 for 3 off May. Davis not going anywhere at first. Late on that one because it's 95.
Well, you're constantly adding and subtracting if you know what you're doing out there, and then as you said, he just went right up the ladder in 95. Hard to get on top of that pitch.
May ahead on the count 0-2. Comes right after Matt with a fastball foul tipped into the mid at 96.
Yeah, the bat from this side of the plate has not been very quick, so the scouting reports are no doubt, hey, if you got a good arm, and May does, and this is 96, you don't even come close to hitting the glove, and it didn't matter. He tries to get the bat head to the ball, just can't do it.
So that will leave it up to Pedro Alvarez. Davis a leadoff single, still over there at first base. Alvarez 0 for 2 off May. And Alvarez will take the pitch for a strike, and again the off speed delivery to start him out. May just 26 years old. 0-1. And again off speed out in front of it. Played by Dozier to first, and the Orioles cannot take advantage of the Davis leadoff single. He remains at first base, and we remain tied. Earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, the Orioles trying to tie it up in the fourth, and Jose Barrios, really used all the pitches, curveballs, and there's another one he fouls off, just misses a double changeup, and back-to-back changeups, and trying to get him out with the fastball, and finally he gets a curveball up in the zone, and Sano will throw it away. Suzuki just bobbles it. Now Raiders will get into scoring position but not score. Again, that's your Miller moment, and it was a big one as it tied the game up. And Darren O'Day will come on. You can see it, a lot of sliders. Fastball, he'll sink it, he'll ride it. And then the breaking ball, different speeds. And he is again having a glowing year. One inning where he gave up 3 runs against the White Sox. That's the one blemish.
Middle of the order, Brian Dozier cannot stay off that pitch at 78. Darren pitched in 3 games, all 3 of them Camden Yards. picked up a save, gave up nothing on 2 hits in the 3 innings worked in the first series of the season. Dozier into that, high in the air to shallow left. Rickard.
Yeah, you can see almost the enemy's like playing at Wrigley Field, except are we by any lakes? I know this is the land of 10,000 lakes, but not any big lakes. Can't tell though. When you go to Wrigley and the wind can be howling.
Yes. Follow the Orioles live, MLB.com @BAT app. Stay up to the moment any moment. Video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download it, MLB.com @BAT #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Fishing season starts too in the land of lakes here this weekend.
Oh, really?
I believe, yeah. Which is always a very big weekend if folks open up the camps, cottages. In the air, right center field. Trumbo, it'll come back to him. Plouffe is retired. 2 fly ball outs O'Day here in the 8th inning. We will be right back with you tomorrow with the game canceled last night, so the second game to be played will be tomorrow, wrapping it up. Tyler Wilson against Phil Hughes. Our coverage on MASN. 12:30 O's Extra presented by Jeep. Our game coverage at 1. All the access you need right here on MASN.
So Phil Hughes, a couple of years ago, 14-game winner. Last year, 11-game winner against a relatively limited action Tyler Wilson, who's pitched very well for the Orioles.
O'Day getting him down quickly here in the 8th inning. Sano, dangerous. 0 for 3. A strikeout, flied out, and grounded out. Jepson in the bullpen.
There's their closer.
O'Day's delivery to him, and that is going to miss. Sano's only faced O'Day once. He is 0 for 1 against him. Plouffe for the home run in the 6th inning. 2-run shot. Sac fly by Plouffe in the 1st inning. All 3 RBIs of the Twins belong to Trevor Plouffe. Back-to-back homers, Machado and Jones, and an RBI by Wieters. The 3 runs for the O's. Thought about it. It misses. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Joey Rickard way back in left field here with Sano up. Cut anything off in the gap. Late call, strike in the outside corner.
Yeah, Mike Estabrook followed that little spider all the way to the outside corner and then belatedly got the right arm up.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Sano takes it. There you go.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how they rate Mike Estabrook, because he seems like, a lot of times they say, well, this guy's a really good ball and strike umpire. He looks like you would think, at least from watching him tonight, he's up there in the rankings. And very consistent. And I'm sure if you're pitching, you want a few more pitches, but looks like he's been fair all night long.
And a swing and a miss as he gets him. So Day comes on, retires the side in order. We've completed 8. Scope will lead it off for the Orioles in a tie game. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer with you. 3-3 ball game. We go to the 9th inning. And the bullpen parade continues.
Yeah, the closer traded over here for the stretch run from Tampa Bay last year. The Orioles first saw him out in Anaheim. Hard thrower. You know, fastball's around 94. Big hard curveball. Again, Glenn Perkins with all kinds of physical problems at the end of last year. Had back spasms this year, shoulder problems. Just starting a throwing program. You could see fly ball pitcher. But a guy that throws a lot of strikes. And they get somebody that, as it turned out, was supposed to be a setup guy, but he's turned out at the end of last year because of Perkins' injuries to be able to close last year, and then again here in 2016.
So the Orioles will try and get to him here in the 9th inning. Jonathan Schoop, Flaherty, Joey Rickard are due up. Yankees beat KC tonight 10-7, so the Yankees have won 5 of their last 7 and have held opponents down when needed, and then tonight found a way to score some runs. And Kansas City continues to struggle. Jonathan Schoop, Jepson's pitch to him, trying to get a game winner, swing and a miss.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work up out of the zone. And the Tigers ended their 7-game losing streak against the Nats.
Tigers coming to Camden Yards Thursday night. That one up and away, foul back.
So probably, you know, maybe the first one might have been a strike, but that one was definitely outside. And you know, trying to hit home runs, so it doesn't work. I don't know of too many guys that ever said I went up to home plate and I hit a home run when I wanted to. But I've talked to a lot of hitters that said I've given up hundreds of at bats trying to do that.
Schoop will take that one on a bouncer. Jepson laying one in the dirt that time. Jonathan Schoop 0 for 2 off this right-hander.
Yeah, he's got a changeup. That ball, I think it was supposed to be a curveball, but it never started high enough to curve. It just kind of nestled itself into the dirt.
Jonathan obviously has not continued his hit streak yet, still at 11. Pitch to him. Schoop will take that one outside. Just trying to get on here any way that he can. Give the Orioles a chance to get a lead.
Well, center and left play deep. Sano and right maybe not so deep, even though he's a kind of an infielder who's been converted. Santana way out there.
Two delivery on the way to Jonathan, and he'll reach even further on that one, and he is struck out.
Can't be seeing the ball when you chase those kind of pitches. I mean, you see 94 all the time, but you know, maybe Jepson just hides it. That ball not even close to being a strike. I mean, in the other batter's box. But you don't pick it up and you get 2 strikes and you're anxious. That's how you chase.
Ryan Flaherty coming up. Flaherty with the 0 for 4 off Jepson. Did have a double leading off the 3rd inning. The Orioles unable to score in that inning. Orioles have left 7. Twins have left 5. Kevin Gausman, 3 runs, 5 hits over 6. Another non-decision for Kevin. That's his 11th career non-decision in 46 career starts. He is 10-18 as a starter in the majors with 11 NDs. Broken bat pop-up right at the plate. Lugie gets rid of the mask, and Flaherty is retired. Visit MASNsports.com/Care First to vote for tonight's Care First Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
And another ball that was out of the strike zone. So I'm getting the idea that Jepson's hard to pick up.
Joey Rickard's going to find out as he'll face him for the first time 0 for 3 and a sacrifice.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, normally you bring in your closer for gives you the home field advantage. You bring your best pitcher in top of the 9th, then you get to hit, try to win it.
Delivery by Jepson over the top of strike.
But that's only the 8th pitch, and 5 of them are strikes.
Orioles have their closer getting ready, Zach Britton. Berrios, the starter, he gave up 3 runs, 8 hits over 5, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, back-to-back home runs, Machado and Jones, 2 NDs for the starters. And up high, Joey takes that one, 1-1. Toronto underway in San Francisco, playing on the West Coast. They've won 5 of their last 7. Right now they're pitching really well. The Jays are. Record on a chopper that'll come up and bite him. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Saw today the Jays have the exact same record they had last year at this point. And they would go on to have a big season. They are 17-17, 3 games behind, tied for 3rd with Tampa Bay. The Orioles and Red Sox tied for 1st. Red Sox for the moment a half game ahead because they beat Oakland 13-5. Just protecting, fouls it away. Ooh, wow, what was that? Mercy.
Oh, maybe save that young lady.
Thought he was Joe Mauer.
Yeah, and then he gives him the nod. Yeah. But of course. Heck of a play right there.
Wow. He was just tall enough not to go head first into it. Look at that play. That's a good one. Pitch on the way, fouled off again.
Yeah. Let's try him again. See if he can catch a grounder.
1-ball, 2-strike count, 9th inning. Rickard trying to get on. Manny Machado waiting on deck. Twins trying to get out of the 5-game losing streak. Orioles trying to win their 3rd in a row. And also win their 5-game losing streak in this ballpark. And Rickard will take it outside. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Looking ahead, it'll be Park, Garcia, and Suzuki due up 6, 7, 8 for Minnesota in the bottom of the 9th inning. Orioles have not had a man in the scoring position since they put those home runs up in the 5th. And again, not biting. So he takes it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Jepson. With the colorful glove.
Yeah, their workout. You got the the letters are red, gloves red.
3-2 pitch in the air, left field. It is near the wall and will take a bounce right off the bottom of it. Heading into second base with a stand-up double. Rickard delivers a 2-bagger with 2 down in the 9th inning.
So Paul Molitor, in his 2nd year of managing, gets to make a decision right here. I mean, this is what we talked about Rickard. He can hit the fastball. When he finally gets one, quick bat. Garcia can't get to it. Good, short hops the wall, and I can't imagine you're going to be pitching to Manny Machado here.
First base open, 2 down.
You could see Suzuki looking over in the dugout. Could be, and we'll see if it's one of those. Well, don't walk him, but don't give him anything good to hit.
They always wait for the wild pitch on these situations if that's what they're going to do.
Well, I hope they pitch to him.
So Manny Machado will stand in, and no intentional pass yet.
Yeah, you do it on your terms.
Already a 3-hit game, 2 singles, a home run, and a walk for Manny. Set up outside for a ball. Orioles now with 12 hits in the game. Potential go-ahead run at second. Machado with Adam Jones on deck. Where Suzuki sets up again.
Yeah,
bounces that one.
I just don't. And you know, I have all the respect because I pitched against Paul Molitor, but right here, 150-point difference. Put him on and
get it over.
You know, and you know, it doesn't mean Adam Jones is not going to hurt you, but this is, and you're not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Paul thought, well, I don't want to really show up Jones, but it's a matter of, ooh, that was hittable. That was
Keep
hittable.
the bat ready.
That was hittable. He lobbed it for a strike.
Suzuki talking to Manny, and that was close. And that one's even further away. So the intentional pass surrendered to Manny Machado, and now Adam Jones will look for the 2-out RBI to give the Orioles the lead. Machado picks up intentional pass number 3. 3 of 6 the Orioles have.
And we're talking about that 2-0 pitch. If you're ready to hit, look at this. Now, you might have had to go up a little bit on your toes, but it's not exactly where Suzuki wanted it.
So Jones stands in. The home run rather came in the 5th inning. He has struck out twice and flied out. Jepson with the delivery to him. Adam will take it away. Adam 1 for 7 off the Twins reliever. 3-3 ball game, 9th inning. Orioles a base hit here can get themselves on top. Trying to do it with 2 down. Rickert on at second base, the double. And Manny on at first with the intentional pass. Jepson's delivery to him went upstairs and pops it back and out of play.
There's another ball, and I'm not saying it's easy when it's 95, but you know, Adam is just getting in one of those bad habits, and hitters from time to time get in them where they just chase pitches out of the zone.
Adam has gone 4 for 9 in 2-out situations. The Orioles have been one of the leaders as a team. 265 with 2 away and a run that can score. Foul back again. That one was one to hit.
Yep, it was. And we'll see if he gets anything else to hit.
21,586 the announced attendance. 21586 on this frosty night. Orioles have 2 on. A 1-ball 2-strike count. Jepson's delivery to Jones in the dirt, gets away. Rickert runs, and both will move up. He could not come up with it. Might have had a chance at second base on Machado, but it won't matter. So a big chance now.
Well, nice base running by a Rule 5 guy. I mean, you can teach it all you want, but you still have to have the instincts and really the guts in a 2-2 ball game, because you don't want to get thrown out of third, but immediately you can see him at the top of your screen, and then Matty chugging along, hoping that maybe Suzuki, who couldn't get a handle on it, might throw one away.
First wild pitch by Jepson this year. 2-ball 2-strike count on Jones. Adam goes after one up again. This will be near the dugout and bounces into the seats. So Adams' at bat stays alive. A real battle here after the first 2 outs on Scope and Flaherty. Oriole hitters Rickert, Machado, Jones, forcing Jepson to have to throw a lot more pitches than he'd like.
Yeah, what, he had 2 outs with about, what, 9 pitches?
Now up to 24. Still 2-2. Delivery to Jones, and he rockets one that's out to left. That's going to be a base hit. Bounces off the body to center. Santana will get it in. Adam Jones with a 2-out base hit, 2 RBIs, and the Orioles take a 5-3 lead.
Well, he finally gets one in the zone, and he tommyhawks it. A home run on a high curveball, and I mean, just watch him get on top of this when you think Arcia might come to get it, and then he doesn't take a very good route to it. And then the ball hits him somewhere in the body and kicks right over to Santana. So obviously a clutch base hit here in the 9th.
So Adam Jones has a 3 RBI game. Adam now has 12 on the year, and the Orioles have the lead. And Chris Davis, a couple of hits, 2 for 4. Not only do the Orioles have the lead, but a couple of more pieces of good news. Adam Jones looks like, as his manager told us before the game, he's back, healthy, ready to go. And Chris Davis has been on a couple of balls here with a 2 for 4 game. And he hits that one to the gap in right center field. That's going to be cut off. Santana. Jones is being waved home. Here's the relay throw. Dozier. Jones goes back to third.
Yeah, Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach, coaching exactly the way you want to do it, where you get way down the line, you have speed, you keep sending them until they catch the ball. When Dozier does that, you put the brakes on.
Adam Jones chugging around third base.
Now take a look right here, and Sano's going to kind of circle it. And then Santana. So here's what you're talking about. Here's Bobby Dickerson. Halt. And he does.
Chris Davis getting on it. Remember, he came in 6 games with a 1 for 21. He has gone 3 for 5 in this game with an extra base hit, now a double. The Orioles can all but put this ball game out of reach right here. Trumbo has had a double, a run scored. He is 1 for 4. The Orioles with 2 runs in the 9th inning on the Adam Jones base hit, and again doing it with 2 away, as they have done so often this season.
Yeah, the least experienced guy on your team, Joey Rickard, doubles with 2 outs.
Trumbo will take away. 1 ball, 1 strike count. May have to go to the pen again for the Twins. Tonkin getting ready in the bullpen, and all ready for the Orioles. Zach Britton, he's been warmed up. He's just staying that way to come in and look for what right now would be a save. 1-1 delivery on the way. Jepson, that one looped to center field. Santana coming and will make the catch. The Orioles in the 9th inning push 2 across. The RBIs go to Jones. They got a couple of hits to do it. They will leave 2 base runners on, 3 outs away from a win. And there's the one that may have produced the game-winning RBIs. Orioles up 5-3. Now Tom and Rick will have some exciting replays for you in the long balls the Orioles have used. Adam Jones, game-winning RBI. Well, let's see.
Well, Zach Britton comes on, and sinker slider pitcher, mostly sinkers. Why not? Probably the best one in baseball. Anywhere up into the mid to upper 90s. So 7 for 7. You can see that 17 strikeouts, 12 in the 3rd inning, so he can strike you out 2. And again, the Orioles looking for 3 outs before the Twins get 2 runs.
Nolan Reimold comes on to play in right field for Trumbo, defensive replacement. And Britton will start it out with a 95-mile-an-hour strike to Park. Park is 0 for 3. Arcia and then Suzuki due up as the Orioles have a chance to get another one against the Twins. Sinker comes right back to him. Britton's throw is there, and Park is retired. O'Day worked an inning. Nothing across. Could be the winning pitcher. Brad Brock an inning. 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Gibson gave up the 2 runs, 3 hits in an inning. Could take the loss. Gibson, if he loses this game, it would be his 4th loss. He would be 2-4, and O'Day with a win would be 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Paul Molitor, you bring in your guy, and as it turns out, he just makes a series of bad pitches, and the Orioles will take advantage of it.
Britton's delivery swung on and missed. Arcia struck out 3 times. Britton already has a save and a win against the Twins this year. 2 innings, no runs, a hit. Going to be 2 for 2 against the Twins and 8 for 8 overall. That's right there.
Yeah, dive bombing in '96.
For the Orioles, maybe for their 19th win, 19-12 if they can get it, and 4-0 against the Twins on the season. Arcia waiting on it. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and he'll loop it to third. Caught. Flaherty. Liner. Flaherty right where he needed to be today.
Yeah, he finally cuts his swing down and then hits it on the nose, but Ryan Flaherty playing right off the line. And you can see him get set. Both feet either can go right or left. And for him, as a superlative defender, easy play.
Ryan Flaherty at third, using the glove. Suzuki coming up. He is 0 for 3. Couple of fly balls to center, and he has popped out. The Orioles 1 out away from going 4-0 against the Twins for the first time since 1997. That was when they won their first 5 games against the Twins. That was the last time they started 4-0 against them in '97.
Oh, as you mentioned in the open, they had lost the last 5 they played here. The Twins always a good home team. You get a big park like this, you usually try to build your team around it. A little bit of speed and a couple of home run hitters. And for this team, that's Dozier, who's a pull hitter. Otherwise, it's tough to hit home runs here.
Orioles have had a lot of offense in this game, even though it's been tight. They've got 14 hits. 5 runs on 14 hits. They have left 9 on base in the game. Now the Twins are 3, 6, and 5 left on. Adam Jones 3 RBIs. Those last 2, one of which could be the game winner if Britton wraps it up right here.
Well, the good news is you go back about 10 days ago, you're worried about Zach Britton missing considerable time with that ankle sprain that he suffered about a week ago Saturday night against the White Sox in Baltimore.
Suzuki ground ball. Flaherty's got it. Takes his time, and the Orioles have got the win. Suzuki grounding out. So Zach Britton picks up the save, his 8th. O'Day's 2-0. Jepson the loser 2-4. And the Orioles, after the rainout last night, have now won 4 in a row against this Minnesota Twins team. Adam Jones, game-winning RBI. Tomorrow they go at it again. Tyler Wilson on the mound against Philip Hughes. Our coverage on MASN begins at 12:30 with those extra presented by Jeep, and our game coverage at 1. This has been a MASN presentation. Great effort. Gausman, the starter, even though he's indeed kept him in the ball game and gave him the chance, and the Orioles took advantage of it. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here in Minneapolis, I'm Gary Thornton. Thanks, everybody. Have a great remainder of the night. Adieu, adieu.